Welcome back, everyone who's out there listening. This is session number 9 of our ASMR Pathfinder playthrough of Ire of the Storm.
This is inaccurate.
I don't know where I was going with that, but...
And the soothing music was brought to you by Syrinscape.
Which I don't have booted up yet.
Oh,
Syrinscape.
Justin.
I'm sorry. Hang on.
You're
Where
fired.
is it? Where's it on my desktop?
You're fired. You're fired from your own free time.
That's fair.
So I wanted to start off by bringing up the thing that we had started chatting about in the chat the other day about spells and what spells we would choose if we actually could pick like a spell. And that's the one where Jason said that he would want to pick Phantom Steed because it would be really helpful for his job. And I said fastidiousness because I enjoy being clean.
That's a good everyday.
It would be nice. And Brandon said...
Wait, no, this was going to go on chat, because now everybody's going to think I'm a creeper, which is probably accurate.
Brandon said disguise self.
Well,
which
I didn't realize
that
we were
be creepy.
Well, I mean...
Hey, just think how great it would be to look like someone else for a moment.
You know, honestly, you never know. See,
Why
I
not?
didn't realize that we were picking stuff for work. I would have done like comprehend languages or something that was less creepy.
I also love.
Now everybody on stream's like, "Oh, that guy's disguised self. I bet you he drives a white van." Yep.
I also love for a moment that of all of the things that you could have chose, it was disguise self as opposed to the more powerful version of the spell, alter self, or any other number of ways.
Well, I was picking a level 1 spell. I thought that's what we were going with.
Yeah, I think we were going with level 1 spells.
Phantom
Steed is
not a level 1 spell.
Oh, what level is
That's
it?
a third level spell, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, well,
right.
if that's the case, I'm just going to take like power word death or something. So,
Power word death.
So I didn't answer this earlier, but you want to know what spell I would pick? It's not actually a spell, it is a skill. I wish it was as easy to invest 1 rank in linguistics and immediately know a language. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Having spent several actual amounts of time trying to study languages, that just instantly
keep
getting
watch. That's where it's at. Keep
watch? Okay, now I gotta look that up. Keep watch. What level is that?
That's a level 1.
Okay, level 1.
Yep.
Oh, you
enables
suffer
the subjects
no
to stand
fatigue.
watch or keep vigil throughout the night without any ill effects. So I'll just sleep.
Yeah. So you literally could just game all night long.
And you wouldn't feel tired.
Yeah.
I know, it's
They
so
have the
weird.
cure for tiredness? Oh my gosh. I want to live in this world.
Right?
you know, another good spell we probably could have all chosen was suggestion. It's good.
Okay, what is your line of thinking? Disguise self, suggestion. What are you?
I'm only picking low-level spells. I don't know about you. Like,
That's not the.
That was a level 1. Keep watch was a level 1.
Oh,
Speaking of suggestion, does anyone want to go over what happened last week? I'm sure
it was
everyone's
honestly
favorite session.
very short. It was, we fought Ham Slice. We beat Ham Slice after a lot of stuff happened. And then now we're at the Halfling Village. I mean, that was pretty quick.
After a 3-hour combat, because
of which poor
suggestion is as bad as Entangle.
poor Abner was dead for all of
Justin
it.
didn't get to play at all.
Poor Miyabe was forced with how to mitigate damage, but still followed the text of the spell. But
Josh was basically a chicken with his head cut off, like, I don't know what to do.
Okay, listen, this character has got an 8 strength and a 10 dex. I literally cannot fight. It is not possible at all.
But my only thing is, looking back, Ham Slice convinced Miyabe to defend her, and I feel like half the spells and abilities that were used, you used on a mind-controlled Miyabe, as opposed to on the people trying to defeat Ham Slice.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were talking about me, and I was like,
No, yeah. Aluna didn't try to heal Abner. You did throw a word on me for like 1 turn.
Hey!
I was thinking, you know what? I'm just gonna knock out Miyabe, and then you're like, I'm gonna heal him. I'm gonna ward him. I'm like, all right, well, I guess.
Listen back, and you will hear 2 instances where Aluna, 1, warded Krimet, and 2 healed Abner for 3 HP, if I recall correctly.
Wasn't it after combat though?
No!
No, it was before.
You stabilized him, and then you're like, he's
Oh, you're
fine.
right. You're right.
He's
That's
fine.
right.
He's stabilized.
I didn't provide anything to this combat.
Yeah,
Right.
he's
Most of the damage prior to going down, but it's fine.
Took down half her health,
Half her
and
health,
then
but
was
it's fine.
like,
Nah,
The life of a wizard.
yep,
playing hard mode.
we don't need him.
So, in addition to recap, some fun stuff. Sarah, you changed your mind about how we were gonna progress through this?
Yeah. That was something else I wanted to bring up. So, as we move through part 2 and get closer to part 3, I was evaluating your party and your party's motivations and basically the progression for the rest of the module. And you guys are just not realistically going to do a whole bunch of encounters in part 2. Like, it's just not going to happen. It's not going to make sense for you guys to do some of these other things. So, to kind of like combat that and make sure that you're not super underleveled for part 3, I switched us over to fast track XP leveling, which when we looked at your current total of HP on the fast track means that you would be level 4. So this week I reached out, said, hey guys, actually I think it was like Sunday night. It was like, hey, you only got 2 days, but you guys are going to be level 4. So cool. Have fun with that.
I think it was
You
more
guys-
of a, hey, you guys should go to level 4. If not, then we'll just keep you at level 3 today.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Basically,
but we all made it.
basically.
We all made it.
Oh,
Jace,
of course.
just because I'm curious about the numbers, what does that put our next level goal at?
We are at 6,875.
Yep.
4th level was 6,000 on the fast track. 10,000 is the next level.
So that still doesn't leave us too far behind from 5th level, which is nice.
Yeah. Yep.
3,000 something away.
Right.
It's
So
not too bad.
3 or 4
Yeah, and
big
looking-
encounters.
Looking at the milestone leveling, that puts you more on track with where you should be,
Interesting.
given where you guys are heading.
So we
Actually,
fell
it's
behind.
a whole,
Was it good?
I was going to say it's a whole bait and switch because we're going to learn the final boss's location and then we're going to backtrack, not go there. We're going to do all of the other locations, waste time leveling up. 7th level, then we go to the final boss.
This,
We go to that haunt again, right? Like we go back to the haunt at the
this
original
is
fort.
this is
Yeah,
the
we farmed
plan,
that for a
Jace.
while.
We
We
have
farmed that for a little
succeeded masterfully. Little did she know, we were in for the long con. It's funny. So XP leveling, we fell behind. Actually,
You
Well,
wouldn't
probably-
have, but you will have.
interesting.
Yeah, probably because we didn't end up going to that stronghold,
moving.
the fort place or the tar pits place.
Yeah.
Or a
Yeah.
lot
A
of
lot of
places.
And then
Yeah.
also, moving to fast track will allow me to forego some encounters that really don't have much to do with the actual story. And that's something that, going into this, I'd never run XP leveling before. I haven't really even listened to too many podcasts where they do XP leveling, so this was a kind of uncharted territory, and being a module, it's not a big deal, but you live and learn, and the one podcast that Jason and I listened to, they used XP leveling, and they go on the fast track, and they're actually doing a full AP, and the GM said that it helps because they can focus more on the story, and they're not doing these little encounters where you're fighting 3 zombies and there's no reason why you're fighting them, you're just there to fight them. So
Case in point would be back at Fort Breakthrough, the very end when we had those centipedes, they didn't do anything. They were just filler, more or less, in that one room at the very end. We'd cleared out everything except that one room, and it was just kind of filler centipedes, kind of.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of what it's talking about.
yeah, Jason and I have talked about it, and he said that, back in book 1 of Iron Fang, there were some encounters where if we had been doing XP leveling, or even if we were to go back and do the book again, that he would cut out just because they don't really benefit the story, and it just makes for a longer book.
At least
So.
5 that I can think of.
But
Yeah.
all said and told, changes moving forward. Do we want to break down our new levels and introductions, roll our HP, or do we want to?
Yeah. Yep. So we can go around and we can start with Brandon since he's first on the screen. We can start with Brandon. So anything that you want to tell us about Crimit with level 4? And then we'll go ahead and roll your... Actually, go ahead and roll your HP first, so we don't forget to do that. And I'm assuming you took another level in Gunslinger?
Yeah.
Okay, so that D10.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, so 8 HP. Rolled a 6 plus his con of 2.
And I'll probably just do favorite class bonus in that too.
Okay. 8. Cool. So what else did you get at level 4?
So I ended up taking... So it wasn't really a huge level, but it should help in combat. So I took Precise Shot, so now I don't have to worry as much with firing into melee, which will help, especially with touch attacks. My Dexterity prior to was an odd level 17, so I was able to bump that up to an 18, which now ranks that to a 4, which will help me with firing a little better as well. That was really about it. So my combat effectiveness... maybe has gone up, but I still have a terrible misfire chance, so 5th level. That's where it's gonna all come together.
Yeah, 5th level is big for Gunslinger, so you will just see that by the end of this module.
It's
$50.
It's beginning.
I get killed before 5th level.
Oh man. Sarah, you should take that action and then just let him live because you're the DM and you have.
And then kills me in the very first encounter.
Yeah.
Right.
At 5th level, exactly. Brilliant, Sarah.
Cool stuff. So Kermit's getting stronger and more confident.
It's beginning to come together though at 4th level. 5th is big, but 4th level, like you said, you can fire into melee now without such a concern. It's all.
Yep. It's no joke, and I mean 4th level is the first level where you get that ability score increase. So if you built your ability scores with your highest being an odd level, you get to bump that up at 4th level, and it's exciting. I did that with Nyari's strength. She was at 17 until 4th level, and then you hit 18, and you're like, oh, this is so cool.
You could just make it out a little bit, squeak it out.
Yep. So
I forgot that's a thing.
Yeah.
Next
Step.
get an ability score change.
Yeah.
You should increase one of your ability scores by 1. Mhm.
Okay, well, I'm all even numbers, so I will worry about that later.
Next up is Jason with Miyabe.
So Miyabe went ahead and he multi-classed
Bart.
into Barbarian, which at first thought might not make any sense. But I took an archetype that I think will make a lot of sense, but I'm going to wait for the main ability of that archetype will come up probably in combat, so I'm going to wait to introduce it then. But some of the other things that I got because of this level up is my speed went up again, so I now have a 50-foot normal base land speed.
It's ridiculous.
Justin, I was a Blood Rager before becoming Barbarian.
I didn't know the difference. I thought a Blood Rager was a barbarian.
No, Blood
That is so
Rager is
classic
a...
of you.
I know, right? I'm like, weren't you already a barbarian?
Oh,
Blood Rager is a hybrid between the Barbarian and the Sorcerer. It's very similar to the Barbarian.
Wait a minute. He's a half sorcerer and hates You know what? I don't want to.
Oh, that's because
right now.
he took an archetype that got rid of his spellcasting, so he was just a crappy barbarian. He wasn't even a real Blood Rager.
Yeah, and
well, now he's kind of a 2/5 sorcerer now.
the character was always a Barbarian in my head. It's just that when we rolled classes, I rolled a Blood Rager. So
Okay, so I'm not crazy. Like
You're not crazy.
I swear that I thought you were playing a barbarian. And so when you're like, I multi-classed and took barbarian, I'm like, yeah, same. I multi-classed and took wizard. Like, sorry. Continue.
You're good. So the barbarian gets to roll that sweet D12 hit dice.
yeah. So I'll have to roll that manually because if I hit the hit point button, it's going to roll a D10. So
Oh, right.
Oh, he
I
rerolls
will
3s, doesn't he? 4.
roll
Yes,
it in the
4.
chat. I've added the modifier already. Okay, I'll
So
reroll
that's
that.
a reroll, 'cause that was a 1. Oh, for all of you while you're listening, we have this house rule for... Okay, he rolled another 1. For rolling hit dice, where a D6 and a D8... Okay, hold on. Just stop. Let me explain this before you keep going.
Called
Oh
it.
my gosh.
Called it.
I told you to stop. Anyway, the house rule for rolling HP is that D6 and D8 hit dice don't get to reroll. So whatever they roll is what they get. A D10 gets to roll 1s and 2s, and a D12 gets to roll 1, 2s, and 3s. Jason rolled 1, 1, 3, and then 4. So
And before this session, I told Sarah I'm going to roll a 4 because that's the minimum that I could possibly roll.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not to be argumentative, but you said a D6 and a D8 don't get any rerolls. I thought a D8 got to reroll ones.
That's
D8.
the Iron Fang rule that Jason came up with.
D8
So I
reroll ones.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
6s are nothing, D8s are 1s, 10s are 1s and 2s, 12s are 1s, 2s, and 3s. It's just an incremental increase.
Yeah.
I thought there were. Well, I stand corrected.
Well, no, it's a house rule, so you could kind of just say, no, I don't like that.
It's
Nobody
like when my
gets
8-year-old yells at me when I'm playing an imaginary game incorrectly. Just happens.
If-
You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Oh yeah, yeah. You're not doing it
playing
right.
this right. I'm sorry.
It's fake. I don't know what you. Where are the rules?
Yeah.
I feel like that's really
So, for the
discriminatory
purposes
against
of-
D6s.
does rage stack then the progression? It's not like you have two
No,
separate
I get a
rages.
separate. I get a separate thing. So I've got 11 rounds of one and 7 rounds of the other.
And did you have an odd ability score, or did you?
I did. I bumped my con up to 16 from 15.
That's so high. You rarely ever see characters that have 16 con.
Well, I need
know.
it because my health rolls are
Yeah,
rubbish.
you should
Yeah.
see it. High con characters. It sounds
Did you
like
take
a cool
toughness? You should
concept.
have.
So, wouldn't you add +3?
I had already added 1 into my... Because when I increased my con, I immediately added 4.
Oh, okay. All right.
So I-
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Do your
Compensated.
favorite class in.
I don't get a favorite class. 'cause
Oh,
I'm
that's right,
multi-class.
because it's not Blood
You
Raider.
multi-classed, correct?
Mhm.
Cool stuff. So, is that all that you wanted to share with Miyabe or about Miyabe for now?
Yep, he's sitting at 44 hit points.
All right. You'll live forever. Next up is Josh with
What?
a Luna.
I love talking about myself, and I love talking about my characters, so I'll just tell you everything.
Every time.
Every time. So the big things is that where am I at? I got a new hex. If you remember last level, I took a feat, so I got an extra hex. But normally I only get it on LOD levels, so I got that here, which is pretty cool. And with that, I chose one of the hexes available to me from my spirit, which is Wisdom of the Ages. It allows me to call upon my ancestors for lore and guidance, and I can use my Wisdom modifier instead of my intelligence on knowledge checks, which is pretty cool. I also get something for Speaker for the Past. That is the archetype that I took, and part of that archetype is that I can get revelations, like an oracle does, from 2 mysteries, Ancestor and Time. I went ahead and picked up one of the Time ones to allow me to roll twice on my initiative score and take whichever result I want. So you don't have to take higher or lower, you can take what you want, which is pretty cool.
Interesting.
Very interesting indeed. Last but not least, ability score doesn't matter to me because I happen to have all even numbers for my thing, so I'll figure that out later because I forgot. And then for favorite class bonus, I get to pick a cleric spell as my racial choice, and I went ahead and picked up Shield of Faith.
Alrighty.
Which is pretty nice.
You're missing one thing. See if you can think of it.
One thing that I forgot, BAB
Yep,
went up.
one thing that you forgot to do.
Will saves came up. I got a roll.
Yeah, that's it. You want
Oh.
some additional HP.
Ooh, 6 is
Not bad. 5. You're a D8, right?
Yeah.
Not bad. Not bad at all. So Luna will add 6 HP. And last but not least is our favorite spellslinger wizard, Abner Calhoun.
Abner Calhoun.
Abner.
So, I did have an odd ability score, so I put it in charisma because that kind of fits
Yeah.
Abner with his trying to talk things out with people and be convincing and stuff. And I'm actually going to also put on that, unless Josh has a problem with it, I'm actually going to put on that headband of charisma to add to it even more.
Will it give you an
Um,
18 charisma?
That would give me a 16 charisma.
16 charisma.
Ah,
Okay.
Give me a
the
16
headband!
charisma.
I wanted
The
it!
headband.
I wanted it! Okay, you can have it.
Spells. I did gain one additional level 2 spell, which is cool, and an additional level 1 spell. To learn a spell, I ended up picking Flaming Sphere, because that still kind of goes with the motif that I've been working on with Abner, being more like fire magey type stuff. And I thought it was a pretty neat little ability. So it's you summon a fire globe, 5-foot globe, and you kind of direct where you want it to go. And when it makes contact with a creature or person, it deals damage. Unfortunately, it is reflex negates entirely. So
Okay.
it's like that high risk, high reward thing.
Save
Like
or
if,
suck. Yeah.
yeah, it's actually save or suck. Like if they save, that sucks. But if they don't, that's awesome. It's 3d6 damage. So that's what I picked for that. Yeah, and I don't think I had anything else that was worth mentioning.
Alright.
So let's roll some HP.
HP.
And you guys are racist against D6s, so I don't get to re-roll anything.
Classist.
Yep,
Aw.
that's about right.
You rolled
Alright.
a 2, so
You-
Abner will add 3 hit points.
Even if we let you re-roll ones, you didn't roll a 1.
Nope.
You rolled just what Miyabe gets with his card.
I thought wasn't a house rule that wizards reroll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5s?
Yes, I'm pretty sure that's accurate. Yes.
No.
So I'm at 22 health.
Oh.
I am very squishy, AC of 12, so I have to start playing a little more conservative if I don't want Abner to die.
Yikes. Well, that's funny because I was looking at Kieran's character sheet the other day and I looked and I was like, he's 5th level and he has 30 hit points. That's scary. That's
Yeah.
real scary
It'll be
because
real fun.
I was gonna say, especially in Iron Fang, that's scary. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
super scared right now in Eye of the Storm. I mean, I'm a little worried with that low of HP, but
Yeah.
in Iron Fang, I would be
Yeah.
terrified to be
Well,
level 5 with 30 HP.
and also a character that cannot wear armor. So it's
Right.
like,
Right.
I gotta spend 3 rounds just to get myself buffed to have a
Yeah.
okay.
Yes, it gets bad now. I rolled really well on my wizard for Rune Lords for HP, and I'm not excited because now we're getting to where enemies have like iterative 7-round attacks and they're plus 15s on every attack. I'm literally dead in 1 round regardless. I have a 17 AC.
It's no good.
Oh, I've
Level
got
10.
I've got some ideas to deal with casters going into book 4.
I bet.
I'm so excited.
For context on that, you have a 17 AC. That's pretty much the bonus to hit that my character has.
And he's not very min-maxed.
No.
At
He's
all.
a 3/4 base attack bonus investigator, but
Well, cool. So you all are
Excited.
leveled up, level 4, ready to take on the world. And as was mentioned earlier, we left off with you guys just having arrived at the halfling village, Cahshil. And so as you arrived, you have Mudzuzi with you, so he was able to lead you to where the halfling village is located. And as you arrived, you noticed that it was a very strange atmosphere. At first, you saw these buildings that are all built on stilts, and it almost seemed like the village was abandoned. There really weren't that many people at all out. And as you were walking through, you could see some people looking out at you from windows. All of the doors were shut. Nobody's talking, so it's quiet. You get further in, and you see this older woman approaching with 5 halfling soldiers with her. I don't think I showed you the handout of what she looks like. But she walked up to you and she said, who are you and what are you doing here? And she spoke to you in polyglot. Oh, actually, no, she spoke to you in common. And I am looking for where she is. And I can't find her. So let me... Oh, right here she is. So that is who you see approaching you, an older halfling woman. And she will look and she'll see Mudzuzi with you, and she will say, in halfling, this time, which I think Abner speaks.
Yep.
So she will say, Mzuzi, what happened to you? Where are the rest of the group? To which he will respond, we were taken down at the fort. We were out and we were scouting and hunting, and we were attacked by lizard folk, and we tried to find shelter with the humans at the fort, and it was a massacre. The lizard folk killed all of the people with me, and they killed all of the people at the fort, and I was just barely able to get out with the help of these people. She'll kind of nod at him and look back at the rest of you and say, so? Who are you? What are you doing here, and what do you want with us?
My fine woman, we just wanted to return this young man to his village here, and we were hoping perhaps you could give us a little bit of information on the whereabouts of the lizard folk.
Are you speaking in common or
Halfling.
halfling? Okay. She will speak back to you and say, if you wish to speak in the common tongue, I am one who knows it, if it is easier to converse with your companions.
I suppose that would be fine, just living by the local customs. We can speak in common, and he'll switch back into common. And, yeah.
Well, pardon me for being cautious around outsiders, but... Did you just call me a horse?
I may have butchered your local language. I apologize. I haven't had much interaction with halflings since practicing the language. I didn't mean any offense.
Oh, so true, though. That's why I'm terrified to speak in a native language when I travel abroad. I'm like, I'm gonna just make a fool of myself.
Yep. You're like, I'm gonna butcher it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I do that in English.
The trick is you've got to be comfortable with being wrong and just rolling forward. Just like, oh, that was just rolling forward.
Yep.
That's it.
You will forgive me for being cautious, but we do not trust you outsiders. You have brought us nothing but trouble, and while I'm sure your intentions are good, and I am grateful for you bringing Mudzuzi back to us, I do not understand what you want with the lizard folk.
Well, they attacked the fort there, as this young man mentioned, and we had a bit of a run-in with them back in the city. They seem to have been summoning a storm of some kind, perhaps, or trying to practice some foul magic, and attacked our sheriff. We'd like to reach out to them and see if we can come to a peaceful solution.
I have noticed the storm, and she'll gesture to behind you where you can see the dark clouds, and now it's almost as if where the day before the storm had seemed to be where it was, now you can tell it's getting closer. And it's like it's moving pretty quickly towards land, which is very odd in that it was kind of stagnant for so long and now it's suddenly making a push towards land. She'll say, we have been watching it, and it does not seem to be natural. We do not know what is causing such unnatural storms in these parts.
I practice meteorology myself. My skills are wide known in this area, and it does seem a bit unnatural, and we'd like to, see if it's the work of the lizard folk and ascertain their location.
I do not know if you're going to have very much luck with the lizard folk. They are very territorial and stubborn. However, it is odd because they are our closest neighbors out here, and until this year, they were always willing to trade with us. However, my scouts have said that they recently lost some of their territory to a boggart tribe north of the river, and they have pushed south, licking their wounds, which is possible why they have so angrily struck out at the humans. Your presence here has not been good to the people of this land.
There was a letter at the fort talking about some damage to the river. Do you know anything about that?
I do not know anything of that specifically. There are many rivers here, so I do not know precisely which river would be referenced in there, but I have not experienced any trouble with the river myself. You know this letter came from the lizardfolk?
Oh, well, it was actually written by the Cahshil tribe, is that right?
Oh,
Is
we
that-
are the Cahshil tribe. May I see this note?
Well, that's awkward.
Who has it? I don't know who has it. I mean,
Probably you.
oh, okay. Well, then yes, I pull out the letter. I'm like, give me one moment to reach into my handouts, and
It would either be you or Aluna, one of the two.
Right. right. Miyabe's clearly the keeper of records. So I'll reach in and pull out the little letter we found at the fort and hand it over to the lady.
Okay, she'll take it and she'll read over it and she'll say, "Well, I can assure you this was not written by us. I am the only one who knows the common tongue, and the rest do not speak or write in this language. And I can assure you that I did not write such a letter. While we are cautious of outsiders, we have nothing against you as long as you leave us be. We do not see you as harming the river or the land. As long as you keep to yourselves, we will keep to ours."
Well, I'm at a bit of a loss here. We like to try and learn more about this storm. Do you have any idea where we should maybe start or try? We were given some locations to perhaps check. There was a mention of some kind of temple within this forest. Then there was also an ambush site from a previous expedition that perhaps you interacted with.
Now that you mention it, it is strange. And she stops and she thinks for a while. I would not be surprised if this storm has something to do with that expedition. The Mayaborn attacked them for mucking around in some Stormkindler territory. I think it is the presence of Gozra enacting judgment on those for trying to desecrate the temple grounds. I'm not aware of the temple myself, but my scouts saw the attack happen on the expedition. We could not have done anything to sway the tide, but we did see something that happened between the humans and the lizard folk there.
DM. Does that check out? Is Grozra... I know as a player he's a neutral deity, but is he particularly known towards acting vengeance or, like a spirit defending nature when it gets attacked? Is that a particular way he manifests? Question mark?
Roll a knowledge religion. Oof. Alright, so it's natural 20. So total of a 28 on natural religion. Couple of things. Just from you being here, Aluna, you would know that Gozra is probably the most widely worshipped deity in this area. Gozra is... Now I gotta pull it up. Gozra is very much associated with nature and the storm, and actually has like a dual... I don't know what you want to call it,
Duality,
but he can be referred to as a he, but he can also be referred to as she who guides the wind and the waves, as well as the sky father. So kind of has this like fluid nature. He is dualistic deity, known as the god of the storm and sky, also as a goddess of the wind and surf. Born of the ocean's fury and the wind's wrath, Gozra is a fickle deity. He is a true neutral. He's very much focused on the weather and the sea. So it's not out of the question, depending on what happened, for Gozra to probably, I don't know so much as manifest judgment, but for followers of Gozra to take offense at certain things that may have happened. They're very much focused on the natural order of nature, and anything that works against the natural order is basically very offensive, and they don't take lightly to that. So.
I do also believe, I think there are druidic cults of Gozra as well that are very violent in making sure that nature's not encroached on, that kind of stuff. And he's worshipped everywhere too, like all the way up from near Mathis to underwater by aquatic elves. He's very widely known. So, okay, good to know.
Speaking of this expedition, I did hear word that part of the expedition included one woman who was in orange and green. She escaped, and left behind was a handsome young tall folk man who began to parley with the Maya-born shaman.
So close. So close. You cut out, Sarah. Wait, everyone cut out? Wait a minute, maybe it's me. Oh, give me a moment, everyone. It looks like, oh, yes. Looks like Discord has died. Wait, so you guys can hear me, but you can't hear everyone else. Oh boy. This is great. Well, thank you so much. If anyone's in the live stream, welcome. I hope you're having a good time. I feel so alone. Wow. What a day. Wait. Oh, not everything.
That's just my face.
Hey,
It's
not
weird.
everything. I was wrong. You're right. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of my regular servers are down. So not
my.
Yeah, so not everything, but it is widespread. Yeah.
Wait for it. This one
Alright.
will go down soon.
Glass half empty, buddy. What is wrong with you today?
Hey, no, my roommates are still chilling, and San Maruichi, they're up. Unlucky Moon is down, and Streets of Bacon are down, though. So who knows?
Well,
hopefully
I
this
don't
one
even.
won't go down.
I don't even remember what I was saying.
You
Apparently the
mentioned,
storm arrived and killed us all. So.
well, you mentioned that the one person survived and escaped, and then another person was parlaying with the druid,
Shaman.
and then I was in my head. I was like, "Oh, that's probably the guy that I'm looking for," and then I think you died.
Okay. I think I was talking about other stuff. Oh yeah, I think I was basically just saying they saw one woman in orange and green who escaped. There was a handsome young tall folk man who began to parley with the shaman. But my scouts didn't stay around to see what else happened because they didn't want to get caught. So
What other
that's
tall
as
man
far
are
as-
they referring to?
The probably the master of my friend.
Kinjo Ram.
The master of my friend.
Now I'm thinking of Todo from Jujutsu Kaisen, like Miyabe is Todo saying "my friendo."
My
time.
braza.
But I thought, yeah, so what's her name? Hamslice said everybody was killed, so...
So Kanjo Aram is your buddy, and he mentioned his master,
Yep.
Magdi Kukoyi.
Yep.
Is he a tall folk?
Depends on who you're talking to. I'm sure Miyabe wouldn't consider him tall, but
I was
Krimit
gonna
probably would.
Is there anybody that halflings
Seriously,
don't
the
consider tall
halfling are
folk?
tall folk to me.
That's true.
You people are giants.
So I think when she mentions that, Miyabe might actually speak up and he would say, "This other man, do you have any idea where he might be now?"
I do not know what they did with him. I do not know if they killed him or if they took him with them. I do not know anything about him, only that he, according to the scouts, was not dressed for battle like the rest. And he did not fight back. He instead just tried to parley with them. I do not know his fate.
Do you know where we could find them to find him if they took him?
Unfortunately, I do not know this temple that you speak of. The jungle is dense and hard to navigate. My best guess to you would be to maybe try to find that camp, and maybe the camp would lead you to where the temple is.
The scene of the crime.
We will do this. Where is this camp? Do we have like a really good map or just like a general idea?
You just have a general map.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you perhaps have a better idea of where the camp might be?
Let me consult with my scouts, and I will see what I can do. In the meantime, I would like to gather some things to give to you for thanks in bringing Mudzuzi back to us. If you will wait here, I will convene with them, and I will come back and hopefully give you a better idea of where you should head from now. And then Mudzuzi will turn to you and he will say, I also would like to give you a present for returning me back home. This means a lot to me. And he will run off into one of the houses, and after about 10 minutes, he comes back and he says, I found these at one time, and they are no good to me. I don't need them. So I'd like to give them to you. And he gives you a headband and 4 potions that look to be the same potion.
Potions of inflict light wounds.
I'll detect magic.
Okay. They do detect magic
On the
as magic.
headband. Let me know what it is. Just tell me.
You're going to have to roll it because he don't know. He just found it.
Headband.
We might as well roll spellcraft checks on those other 2 items too.
Yeah.
So
I'll
that's
roll
the other
to aid.
headband.
That was another thing I was going to ask is, on the items that you found before when you were still in town, do you think that you would have paid to identify them, or would you have just kept trying to figure them out on your own?
Abner would have probably just tried to figure them out on his own.
Yeah.
Okay.
Aluna can keep aiding.
Okay, so we can resolve this first, and then we can go back and look at those other things, because you would have had a roll today for what those were. So is this on the new headband that you just got?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So with a 20 and a Luna, are you aiding or rolling separately?
I was aiding, but it just gets us to 22 either way.
Yeah, that's fine. That's enough. So this one is a headband of inspired wisdom +2.
Oh, I want it. Just kidding. You could have the charisma one.
For Miyabe. Wisdom?
Is wisdom your
For
casting stat?
context, my relationship with wisdom and charisma is much like a cleric's. Wisdom is my casting scat? My cast
That's a different game.
It's a much different game.
is my main casting stat. But charisma affects things related to my class abilities and others, like your use per day is blah 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 plus your charisma modifier for some reason, like that.
Gotcha. Okay, so Luna will get some use out of that.
Wisdom is one of my main stats.
As a gunslinger, what do you use it for?
Grit.
Oh, that's right. So yeah. Ooh, do we have a classic?
PvP!
Do we have a classic roll off?
No, because that's a go-on one. That's not fair. As soon as I shoot her, Miyabe will come raging.
I'll protect you, and then die as well.
We can
It'll just be Miyabe.
in lieu of proper role play, we can roll off for it.
I think you should arm wrestle.
Yeah, let's
In
do it
real
right
life.
now.
Ooh, actually, we'd be nice about that.
In real life.
No, you guys have to go onto Steam and play that insult game.
How about this? We figure out what
Yeah.
we get, Brandon, and then we'll divvy it up there.
Yeah, so go ahead and roll a separate spellcraft for the potions.
Okay.
Again, to aid. Hey,
Okay.
Wow, look at us.
we know everything with one rake investment. I just know magic, buddy.
So these potions, you get 4 potions of remove fear.
That
Okay.
sounds like foreshadowing if I ever seen it.
Why ever would you say that?
The only
It's a
problem
bug.
is if you get hit by fear, you're too afraid to drink the potion, depending on what the effect is.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So then going back to the other things that you have, I honestly don't even remember. You had a
Ring and rapier.
Ring and a rapier.
ring and a rapier. Okay.
Rapier's a
I mean, the
plus
ring's
one.
definitely going to be a +1, so I'm going to take that. And then the rapier, who knows?
The rapier's gonna be a plus
one
one.
corrosive rapier.
Yeah. So let's see. This is for the ring.
Yeah.
Probably.
Mine's coming.
Is it though? There it is.
Wow, you guys are really good on your rolls. So that's a 23 with a Luna aiding for a 25. So it is. I'll go with the rapier because that's higher. It's a +1 corrosive rapier.
Hey.
We already
Hey.
did that. Sarah, try telling us
Hey.
something we did infer from observation. Why do you need to roll spellcraft if you just know?
For the
And
ring.
then- yes.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Curses.
All right, so we have an aid, but a 19. It is a ring of protection +1.
Oh, classic.
Yay.
Which, all right, I have to go back and say, Jason frustrates the heck out of me.
He got every one of those.
He guessed every single one of those items in the chat. And then on Friday, we were playing Rune Lords. And
Oh, yeah.
my enemy cast a spell on his character, and I was like, please roll a fortitude save. He's like, oh, okay. So he rolls it, and at first thinks he passes, and after a while we realize that he actually failed it. And he's like, and I'm permanently blinded. And I'm like, what the heck? How do you know it's blindness?
You should have just said, no, you're deaf.
So I told him, I said I should have just changed it and be like, you're permanently deaf.
Yeah.
After a while, you get a feel for these things.
I would
Yeah.
say after a while, because like the big 6 are not just referred to that because that's what you buy with your extra wealth when you're building a higher level character. It's also what you're given in every adventure somehow.
Right.
You always
Yeah,
find a
it's the
headband
standard.
of best. Like you always do.
Yeah, yeah. Just like if you hit with a ranged touch attack and then a fortitude save, you're like, crap, this is disintegrate, and that's really bad.
Or if you mention a small red ball and then a reflex save, it's like, oh, that's fireball.
And that's why
Fireball.
I think it makes sense at like where player knowledge and in-game knowledge collapse, because like Spectral Hand, you're pretty much gonna know what that spell is just by looking at it. So it makes sense that there's a very easy check to just, oh yeah, that's Spectral Hand. Like some stuff like that I really like. Spells
Yeah, but
you can
Grimmet
really
wouldn't
tell. Yeah, that's
Oh,
true.
Miyabi and Criminator leg. What's a ring?
What's a ring do?
It's a ring. So yep, so that's your loot. You've got Headband of Inspired Wisdom +2, Ring of Protection +1 Corrosive Rapier, and 4 Potions of Remove Fear. So how are we going to divvy up the loot? Oh, and let me just say, she will come back and give to you.
Guess what it is, Jason?
Yeah, you gotta. So she will give you a scroll and a wand.
Ooh.
Ooh, that wand's gonna be
Can you
nice.
guess?
Wand of Magic
Wand?
Missile!
The wand has 8 charges.
Cure moderate wounds.
Okay, so cure moderate wounds. Any other guesses?
Magic Missile.
And the
Magic missile.
scroll?
The scroll's a fireball.
Identify.
I wasn't paying attention.
All right, so the old halfling is going to give you a scroll and a wand with 8 charges, and you're going to have to guess what they are.
Oh boy.
A little bit harder.
Yeah, those ones are hard because there's so many options. I'm gonna say the scroll. I'll just go out on a limb. Say like locate object.
Okay.
Just something crazy. And the wand, I probably would say cure moderate wounds would be what I would go for, probably.
Okay. Josh, do you have any guesses?
No, I agree with Jace.
Okay, none of you are right. So it is a scroll of mirror image,
Oh.
Wasn't
which
gonna guess
Abner
that.
will want to jot down in his spell book,
Yep.
and
Pretty
a
much shot,
wand of Cat's Grace.
Wasn't gonna guess that either.
Save that for when I hit level 5, please.
Cat's Grace, I believe, is on the shaman list, so either of us can use that.
Mirror image isn't a shaman spell. Why does she have that scroll?
Wait, just kidding. Cat's Grace is not.
She's not a shaman, actually.
What?
Is she a psychic?
Nope.
A ranger?
Fight her and see what happens.
Fighter. 1v1 me.
Come on, man, let's do
right
it.
now.
She is actually a sorcerer
Okay. That
with
makes
the
sense.
arcane bloodline, the Arcana bloodline.
I would have chosen differently if I knew that.
What do you mean you would have chosen differently?
I wouldn't have said
Guess.
Cure Light Wounds. I might have still said Locate Object, but
Oh, I see. I gotcha. Yeah. So
I wouldn't have guessed Cat's Grace either way, but
No.
So she will say, she will also offer you an old brass key. She'll say, this is something that my grandfather found when he was exploring the ruins of a Stormkindler village near here. It is said to ease the rage of the winds. It seemed awfully cryptic to me, and I have never discovered a use for this key, but perhaps in your travels and with your journeys, you will find something that this will open.
More foreshadowing. Can we go ahead and get a... Does it detect as magical?
The key does not detect as magical.
it's a minor artifact.
I was going to
And she would
say...
say, just because you seem to be getting confused, the place that he found this was northwest, whereas the camp that the expedition was attacked is southeast.
This key,
So-
does it bear any religious significance, or does it in fact appear really old, like perhaps an artifact or a relic?
Yeah, so it has geometric swirls on it, which
Arcana?
That looks like a hurricane.
I hate when they like reference something and you're like, hold please.
You're okay.
Yeah, excuse me. Yes, it does have some significance with Gozra.
Okay.
Again, I thank you for bringing Mozuzi back to us safely. We hadn't heard from the expedition, and we were preparing to send out others to track them down. We will mourn those who are lost and have funeral rites for them, even though we were not able to recover their bodies. But you did us a great service in bringing him back, and for your kindness to him. And if there is any way for this storm to be stopped, it would be a benefit to all of us.
Okay, that's good to know. How about some XP?
That was very dismissive.
If you insist.
Aluna's like, yeah, that's good to know.
So for bringing the Zuzi back safely, you get 800 XP for that. And then for coming to the Cahshil tribe, you get 1600 XP.
I feel like they could have just lumped those two things together into one.
There's a lot of that
It
this
was like
book.
reading the
Well-
book the other day and getting more experience.
Well, so here's the thing that I'll explain. Going off of what I talked about at the beginning with cutting out certain encounters, there are encounters that take place here. So there's some things that you can do to try to earn the trust of the Cahshil tribe, but in reading over them at this point, it doesn't really do much other than just take up time. So I decided that we didn't need to go that route, especially if we're doing fast track leveling now. It's not necessary, so
One of them was 1v1ing her.
Probably.
yeah, so anyone who's
solo
listening to
combat.
this, anyone who's listening to this who has either run through this module or is going to run through this module, I apologize. We're not doing all of this stuff, but every playthrough is different, so
I
It is what it
apologize.
is.
And
No
Sarah
one.
wants to get back to Iron Fang.
That's the
I
real
mean, not
reason.
just me. I think we all are anxious to get back to Iron Fang.
I've never been there.
I
I was reading through the next encounter that we'd do in Iron Fang, and I was like, oh boy.
it's going to be quite a
I'm really
change.
excited.
And TPK.
Not just some
Welcome back,
foreshadowing.
guys.
Jason, what did you tell me about the first encounter? And it was gonna be terrible for Aiden or something.
Oh no, I said that in the first session that we're back, there's going to be some like monumentally massive character development pieces of information that Aiden's going to like multiple reasons Aiden's going to like be freaking out after the first session we're back.
Very excited to be freaking out the first session that we're back.
Well,
So
and I
please
also
join
need to
us.
caveat that I am excited for Iron Fang, but this is more so I want to get us to part 3 of this module because that's like
The fun stuff.
that's
Which
like the
one
meat
is-
and potatoes of the module. So I'm like rushing to get there, and then we don't have to rush. But I am
So what
also
you're saying is, we need to go back to the Cobalt Eye, check out that ship, see if we can find that other water serpent thing, kill it, go back to the village, maybe interrogate that guy again before he leaves to go to a different city and stand trial.
Actually,
Uh,
I think we should spend about a week or two in downtime just building Abner's house.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
developing-
basically, that's what
I
we
would
need
actually
to do.
like to spend 30 days retraining my first 3 levels.
Hey, you know what? I
I'm
can get
done.
behind
I'm done
that.
with you people. Feels like I'm done.
So, I mean, we can do that, but then this hurricane's gonna come and just wipe everything out.
Well, no, I left to retrain, so I'm fine.
Some see that as a tragedy. Some see it as an opportunity.
You know what? It's easy.
Okay, like a true capitalist.
we wash our hands of this. We walk away. We didn't start the storm. How are we responsible for those deaths? We're not.
Yeah.
What are all of our alignments again?
Right? Are we chaotic
I'm
neutral?
so confused.
So
We
what?
got a lot of chaotics here.
Luna is neutral. Miyabe is neutral. Justin, you're
I am lawful neutral.
neutral.
And Kermit is what?
Neutral good.
Ow.
So Cribbit's the only one that'll be out there trying to save people.
I just stay. I'll try to block the storm with my face.
Yes.
Save.
Playing a neutral
Is this
alignment is
working?
fun.
Once you hit level 5, no problem.
I just shoot the eye right out of the
I was gonna
storm.
say you can
1v1
punch the store.
Speaking of alignment, though, I think it was interesting. Jason and I had very similar thoughts, I think, without talking about it for our characters. Although both of them are pretty altruistic in nature and go out of their way to be kind and do good things, both of them are shifted to neutral for various personal reasons related to that character, and I think that's pretty cool.
I think it's because if a bad guy says he needs protection, Miyabe does it, as we saw last session.
Alright, so Zaku will also bring back to you a map, a pretty crude map that her scouts have put together, kind of detailing the surrounding areas. So with that, I will go ahead and reveal the adjacent hexes, just pretending like that's the map that they have as the adjacent areas, and then I will show you where the expedition camp was at.
And you'll also show us the temple.
No.
And try to catch her like last time. Be like, and the temple was which hex again?
Yeah. Oh, it's this one up here.
1d4.
Acid damage? I was just gonna say that.
Oh, that was not one of my finer moments.
So Kermit will copy this down on his map as well, which means
Okay.
literally nothing, but he does.
It's
Okay.
cool, you're like a cartographer.
Which river do you?
I
mean?
don't
know,
have.
the
I just
giant
looked,
one?
I don't have any knowledge in geography, but I probably should have.
That sounds like a great idea for a character, though. Anytime we leave the Inner Sea for a major AP, playing a cartographer sounds like so fun.
Doesn't it?
Yeah. If only that wasn't my backup character.
It's true. And then on this map, they will have marked, that's wrong. I didn't want that shape. I wanted a dot.
I wanted
They will have marked right
a
here.
dot.
That is the site of the ruined. Oops. Okay, so let me move that.
Is he a member of the Pathfinder Society? Because he should be.
Depending on what level he came in, he might be.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that would be pretty cool to have that, like a guy writing a traveler's guide. That would be pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Not exactly that same flavor, but that's what my bard does in Rune Lords. He's writing constantly about their adventures and compiling different archives and educational textbooks. It's a good flavor.
So we know where to go now.
Yeah, so we go there.
Yeah, so Miyabe would just address the lady there and he would just say, "Thank you for your help." And then he would turn and leave. That's all he would say.
Kermit would just tip his cap. Thank you.
Thank you, my fine lady. We'll be heading on down this dusty trail and see if we can pick up some signs of these lizard folk.
I think it's a swampy mud pit.
That is probably more accurate.
Okay. So you guys,
So you feel at home, Frog Boy.
Frog Boy.
Yes. I
Yeah.
literally, it's an ability I have. Where is it?
Yeah, it's just my favorite terrain. I get a
Yeah,
plus
right.
2 to
Camouflage.
everything.
Yep, I get a bonus to stealth and marshes and force. So yes, I do feel at home. Thank you for asking.
He's gonna go Predator style in one of these. He's gonna start like wiping mud. on his
No, that's
skin.
Dweef.
That is sweet.
Just popped out, just covered in mud.
Covered in mud. It's that scene where like we walk past like what looks like just a mud lump and like just her eyes open as we walk past.
Oh, that's awful. Zuif is basically the equivalent of Dark Souls patches. She just shows up and you're not sure if she's your friend or if she's gonna push you into a hole.
She's Gozra.
For
Yeah.
the lulz.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the difference is that you can kill patches and not feel bad about it.
I don't know if I ever did, but anyway, so you guys will head southeast along the river, and once you hit this jungle, it really starts to get difficult to travel. Like, this is the very edge of the jungle of hungry trees, and it is dense. It is oppressively humid. You're moving very, very slowly, but you eventually do make your way. However, you're not going to get there the same day, so you're going to have to camp out.
Does it help if
So-
we feed the trees? Satiate them?
Sure, you have to feed them human flesh.
Oh.
Oh boy.
So Abner's safe. Kermit's safe.
Aluna's safe.
You still count as human. You're a halfie.
Yeah, no, we have to distribute the headband of wisdom. Did you take the headband of charisma, Abner?
yeah.
I really want
He
that.
puts the headband of wisdom on top of it.
I would say
Dual wield.
Dual wielding. I mean, why couldn't you technically? I mean,
You're like a Naruto. You just have one word around your neck and the other one on your head.
Yeah.
the headband of
You have one
wisdom
head slot.
or charisma would be useful to me. That would be it. But if you want to roll off Brandon for the wisdom headband, I will do that.
let me put it this way: the ring is more useful to me than the charisma headband. So whichever one you don't get, Josh, you can have the other one.
I
So-
appreciate that.
Just
Yep.
remember that the ring is a deflection bonus, so
Will-
I think that the ward hex is
Right.
Yeah, that's why I didn't want it.
Right.
yeah.
You don't want the ring of deflection?
No, because I usually have ward on.
I mean, perfectly honest with you, I mean, I could just take, it doesn't matter. The ring of protection would put me 18 AC. But I don't really need the headband. I'll
Alright.
roll just to roll.
No, if you want that works, because I don't need the protection. Because my goal is to not fight. So, yeah, take it.
Did Abner ring the ring?
No, Abner's going to be warded all the time.
Oh, I am.
Pause, not Abner. Abner, you grabbed...
Not Abner.
Oh, really?
you
I mean,
pocketed...
that's very generous of you, but
What ring did you grab, then?
me, the ring of protection.
Ah, so you took the ring of protection and the headband.
Yeah.
How about you take a headband, Brandon gets a ring, and I get a headband?
Yeah, that works. We can do that. It's okay. I'll just die. It's fine. No big deal.
Maybe
So-
I'll...
Well, I'll give you the ring of protection if you want to
Okay.
give me the scroll of mirror image.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna pass.
Kermit's like, I don't know what to do with this.
Poke his nose in it.
I thought for sure you were going to take that, because you just spent 10 minutes to copy the spell down. Sure, you can have the scroll. Yeah, do whatever you want
But
with
it
it.
destroys the scroll.
Yeah.
That's true.
Kermit may not know that.
That's
Just a
true.
piece of paper.
It's just a piece of paper to him, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got Kermit taking the ring of protection, Abner taking the headband of charisma. Allure and Charisma +2, and Aluna taking the Headband of Inspired Wisdom +2, and Miyabe gets nothing.
Do they have anything that happens like the Headband of Intelligence? You learn a language. Wisdom doesn't have anything like that.
No.
Okay.
You're also wrong. The Headband of Intelligence does not let you learn a language.
Doesn't it?
It just gives you max skill ranks and a knowledge, usually.
Oh.
It can be any
Yeah,
skill,
like,
but it's usually a knowledge.
Focuses on a knowledge, I think.
Gotcha.
Okay. So, you guys are going to have to camp out in the jungle. And then the next day, if you set out, it will probably take you probably closer to 7 hours moving through the jungle to get to this camp by the river. There's a bit of a clearing by the larger river in this area. And the first thing that you notice as you start to get close to the area that they marked on this map is the smell. You're able to smell this site before you're actually able to see anything. And as you come out of the dense jungle, you see this clearing, and the next thing that you notice is bodies. This clearing is strewn with 12 badly decayed bodies that just litter this campsite. You can see several javelins remain here as well. There's javelins that are sticking up out of the body. There are javelins that have fallen over after the bodies have decayed to the point it can no longer keep them up. And I want everyone to roll a perception check for me.
And Kermit's walking in with the with his hat off, like waving in front of his face, like, ugh. Smelled like I just went in front of the polio factory.
Yeah, that's true. It smells really bad.
I had to drive by it today, so.
Oh, it's bad.
Get
It's
a
also
whiff.
a place like heading south towards Lewisburg, where you drive right past a landfill, and every time I'm like, oh, can you imagine just living right across the street? Because there's houses right across the street.
On a nice day, you just crack those windows open.
Breathe in the fresh country air. Okay, so Aluna, you're the only one who's able to notice these javelins. They're a striking similarity to the same javelins that the druid and her minions on the wall in Priden's Hearth wielded that day that you fought them during the storm.
Are they similar to the ones we found at the fort?
The fort? Yes. Yep. They're very similar to the ones you found at the fort as well.
She relays as much and say we might be... Because we expect to find lizardfolk here, right?
I don't think so. I think we get there and Miyabe's looking around and he'd probably say, it is probably impossible to follow any tracks at this point. It's been too long since this attack occurred. But we might as well try. Because it's been like weeks.
Yeah, I mean, do we know how long? Because I almost got the feeling that it's been like, I don't know, just from conversation, almost looks like this happened like years ago or something.
No, I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Right.
Okay.
Yep. This was a couple of weeks ago.
Plus,
So,
it's
like,
been
it's
raining.
not impossible, but the DC would be higher than we could reasonably manage without some crazy magic or something.
I could try to aid you with, I got decent survival.
We got Deadeye Lore. I have a survival of 9.
I mean, Miyabe would roll it, but I just don't think we're going to be able to after this much time and rain and whatnot.
I agree with
Well,
that.
Kermit will follow Miyabe and just try to give him some pointers when he can.
What's the highest bonus we have?
No,
I have a
Miyabe,
+7.
those are not, that's poop.
A plus what, you say, Jess?
I have a +7, so I'd be aiding whoever has the highest.
I have a
Oh, I
plus-
thought you were.
I have a plus 9. So, you actually all be...
I have a -1. Let me help, guys.
You
So
can!
what are you survivaling?
He's just... So Miyabe would be looking around for tracks, seeing if anybody left this area, if he can find tracks that left the area, either of the lizard folk or the guy that he's actually looking for. He just wants to know which direction to go from here as his
Okay.
main...
Absolutely rolling rocks today! That's a nat 20.
Let me go back and just read off the rolls. So we had for perception rolls, we had Abner with a 9, Miyabe with a 15, Aluna with a 20, Kermit with a 12. So that was to notice the javelins in the camp. And then I'm going to go back to that in just a second. And then for survival, to check for any tracks or indication of where to go, Kermit rolled Miabe rolled a 14, Kermit rolled a 21, Abner rolled a 15, and Aluna came in with a natural 20 again for a 29. The common theme that all of you with those survival checks can tell is it's been too long. It's been too long with steady rain. There's no indication of tracks other than just animal tracks. Animals that may have come through, ate some of the bodies, and then left. And now the bodies are at a state of decay where really nothing's going to eat them at this point other than the flies. Going back to those perception checks, though, Aluna, while you're inspecting those javelins, Miabe, you do notice that in an old fireplace, or not fireplace, what's it? Campfire, yes. In the campfire, you're able to see that one of the rocks is out of place.
He would go and pick it up or look at where it was, or...
Okay. You see a small bag that looks like it was hastily stowed under this rock in the campfire.
He would check the contents.
Okay. You open it up and you see a bunch of silver pieces. You see some sort of symbol that you don't recognize, and then you see another item that you're not sure really what it is.
I found something here in this campfire. It does not look important to me, but I do not know what some of these things are.
I'll take a look. Detect magic and relevant knowledges.
Okay. You do detect magic on the item. Looks like some sort of stone. And then roll a knowledge. Actually, we'll roll over your knowledge religion from before. This is a holy symbol of Gozra.
Yeah. She'll relay as much and then ask for Abner's help to identify the magic item.
Okay.
I'm guessing it's a thunderstone. But who knows?
I don't think it's quite as big.
No?
No.
There's my
It is a familiar item, though.
Ooh.
Not for this AP. Okay, so with those spellcrafts, you're able to determine that this is a steadfast gut stone, which we had one of these in Iron Fang.
Yep.
And if you eat it, it basically will negate precision-based damage, such as critical hit or sneak attack. The damage is instead directed to the stone. So the stone can basically absorb 10 hit points worth of damage from a critical or a sneak attack.
That would have been helpful against ham slice.
Yeah, that's true. When a gut stone is damaged by a melee weapon attack as a free action, you may sacrifice the stone to damage the attacker's weapon. It's basically a free sunder combat maneuver that does not provoke an attack of opportunity. It bypasses the hardness and does 1d4 points of damage.
After you eat it, you just have that effect.
Yeah. Yep.
How do I convince Miabe to eat it?
Just tell
I was
him
going to
it's
say
a
Abner should
vitamin.
eat it.
Put it inside a good berry.
I was just thinking that.
You think
I was going to
Abner-
say Abner should eat it because Miabe can't be...
Oh yeah,
Flat-footed.
Flat-footed, yeah.
That's true. Give it to Abner.
So if there was a rogue that acted before him, it wouldn't go off. He can still be flanked as of this moment, but...
Right.
So how long does it last?
It just lasts.
I think it just...
hours.
Hold on, let's see. Steadfast Gutstone. I just
Wait,
had
you
it
just eat it?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep, you swallow it.
Like a pill.
If it's not used within a week of being swallowed or is destroyed, it's crumbled. It crumbled apart. It crumbles apart and is passed harmlessly out of the body.
Harmlessly nothing. It's a rock.
It
Wait,
crumbles
how long did you say it lasts?
a week.
A week.
Really? That's crazy. Because after you eat it, it takes about 6 hours for food to pass through your stomach to your small intestines. And then for more further absorption, 36 hours for it to, go through.
Brandon, this is a game with magic.
I am
so-
just saying, we need some realism here.
Well, here's what it does. It's a stone that just stays inside you for longer. Then when it breaks up, it can be properly...
That's gotta feel terrible, because there's
Yeah.
sometimes I eat a heavy lunch and have to go back to work, and I'm just like, ugh. I mean, he
Yeah.
probably feels like that for a week.
Although maybe it has the opposite effect, and it's like a chicken stomach that has stones in it, and it helps them actually digest food. So maybe it's just like grinding food up in there for you.
Yeah.
Maybe
Maybe.
rocks on a regular basis, Abner.
Yes.
There you go.
He is a fetchling. Maybe that's what they do.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take it and just go. Oh, this is a delicacy amongst fletchlings. I think I'll treat myself, and just pops the stone in his mouth and swallows it.
Luna whispers to the rest, he's lying. He's lying. It's magic. He's lying.
So while Aluna and Abner are discussing this amongst themselves, Crimit, all of a sudden you hear a voice inside your head, and it says, "Who are you? Why are you here?"
Does he get
Like, do I know it's in my head?
Does he get a save to negate?
Yeah, you just hear it in your head.
I just kind of like spin around and my name is Cribbit, and I'm investigating this here campsite. I'm assuming I don't see anything.
Mm-mm. Nope,
Yeah,
you don't
they-
see anything.
Miyabe slowly turns. He says, "Yes, we know that."
Does it say anything else?
Nope. Next, Miyabe, you hear, "Can you be trusted?"
Miyabe's eyes would go wide, and he would dart his head towards Aluna, and he would say, "Aluna, I hear the spirits."
You hear
And he
them
would-
too?
He would look at the floating Ayun stone around him, and he would be like, "Is that you?"
Aluna's expression would be very animated, trying to be like, good for you! What? And trying to conceal legitimate terror.
Next, Aluna, you hear, "Do you know the people who were here before? Were they friends of yours?"
Were they? Who was it here that was here before? Remind me as a player.
This
It
was
was
the expedition, Hamsagad's expedition, Ham Slice Gold's group.
No, they were not our friends. And she's looking around. Perception? Is there somebody, like, out in the woods casting message? Is this more ethereal?
You can roll perception.
You know, let
But-
me roll perception.
It's,
Oh, I mean, like, everybody can roll
Oh.
perception.
it's someone
sorry.
casting sending from like 15 countries away.
Abner, you hear a voice. "You do not seem like the others. You seem more like me. Can you be trusted?"
Most certainly can be trusted, but can you be trusted? I don't generally like talking to people that I can't see.
Do not question the spirits, Abner.
DC 25 to see, like, if I can hear the whisper.
What's a
Abner, depending
spirit?
on the spell. 30 to
Nope.
look around. Do I see anything?
Roll me. Those of you
Yes.
who can, roll me a knowledge arcana.
Okay.
You got it.
Okay. Abner, being an arcane caster yourself, this doesn't completely throw you off. You determine that this is more of a telepathic means of communication. So there's no real words being exchanged other than just like straight to your minds.
Miyabe, I don't think this is a spirit, my friend. I believe this is someone speaking to us. Well, I don't know how to explain it to you, but I don't think it's a spirit.
Miyabe,
Might be wrong, but
you hear in your head, "You're not entirely wrong. I'm not exactly like the rest of you, but I just need to know if you can be trusted before I come out. Because, well, the lizard ones were not so kind."
You can trust me. I am no foe to the spirits. And then he turns to Abner and he says, "The spirit said that I was not wrong."
Well, all right then. I'll let you talk to the spirits.
There's be a throwdown to this rude campsite.
You hear now in all of your heads. Do you promise that you will not hurt me? Will you lay down your weapons if I come out? Do not all speak at once.
Luna just dropped
Ah!
off.
I just told you don't do it.
We tried! It's too hard!
One at a time, please. It's too confusing.
What?
Just puts his hands up.
Go ahead, Jace.
Miyabi yeets his Earthbreaker again.
Roll a percentage. I hope you hit it. Roll a percentage. Get it.
You throw it into the river and it
If he
washes.
gets a 99, or if he gets 100, he should strike the telepath.
I know a surefire way to roll 100.
Shut up!
Poor Brandon.
Works every time.
99% of the time it works. 99% of the time. Again, don't.
Oh man, you 99% of the time, there's 2 birds and a hand.
2 birds in a hand
Don't put your
involve
cards on and
themselves
I'm a
with a
piercing carrot.
stone.
What percentage would that be? 99% of the time it works 99% of the time?
I don't know.
What is
I think
that?
she was supposed to be like, 60% of the time it works. Every
African
time.
The
swallow
spirit
or
has floated
European
off. She's
swallow?
like, I'm done with you people.
I think you actually do like 0.99 times 0.99, which is 98, so it's 98% of the time. It works 99% of 99%. Anyway.
Kermit loses intelligence.
So, after you guys lay down your weapons, you see, almost as if it appears out of the water,
Yeah, I figured it
out of like the rain that's falling. You see this guy.
Oh, it's a guy.
Where is it?
Probably a dryad, right?
I was thinking dryad.
Could be an undying, like an elemental. That's possible. Nymph is also a good choice. All possible.
Way off.
Nope, none of those things.
Hey, I'm the closest looking to that thing. I'm just throwing that out there.
Is there a knowledge check to know what that is?
Yeah, it would be Knowledge Planes.
I
How
almost
that?
invested a ring.
Almost did it though.
I
almost did, and that's where we were like, "Wait, you're from a different plane. That doesn't make sense."
Doesn't have to, man. Doesn't
Fair
have to.
enough.
I was
Fair enough.
born in Shadow Absalom, but I have no idea where they are.
Shadow Absalom. Never heard
That
of
would
it.
have been an amazing backstory that I'm just lost and don't know how to get back to the shadow.
Oh, that's
plane.
so sad, actually. That's really sad. So with a 24 knowledge planes, you are easily able to determine that this is a Mamiwa. Mamiwa? A Mamiwa is a tiny outsider, air elemental native in water. It looks like a salamander-like creature, and you can see that its tail is very shimmery and composed almost entirely of water, and it is flying right there in the rain.
It has
So,
some
is
native.
it a type of spirit? Do I know if it's a spirit or not?
Actually, yes. So when powerful storms roll across the material plane, the elemental morass of water and air sometimes births Mamiwas, curious and frantic little spirits of temperamental weather. They are.
I am sorry. This is indeed a type of spirit.
Yeah, what is Miyabi
stand
doing right now? He
corrected.
must be like.
He's speechless. He's not. He doesn't know what to do.
I like.
Have you ever seen a spirit?
No,
Oh,
he's never
besides-
heard him before. Even
so this is exciting for him because
Like, I can just see him
entirely new
standing next to
experience.
Miyabi, like, not looking at him, staring at it, like, hitting his leg, go, Miyabi, it's a salamander spirit!
yeah, I think he's just speechless. Like he's grown up, like learning. Like the shamans would always talk about, like the spirits and whatnot, but he'd never heard him. He never saw him. He just kind of trusted their word, and now he's like, this is verification of his worldview in a way.
It is.
So he's just.
And how do you pronounce what they're called?
I just said Mamiwa.
Mamiwa?
Mamiwa?
Abner
Yeah.
will look to
Mamiwa.
Miabe and go, "This is this looks to be a Mamiwa. Is that correct, kind spirit?"
Yes, that is that is what I am. My name is Argil.
Argil.
Have you come looking for my friend?
Who's your friend?
His name is Magdi. We were with the people here, but we were attacked, and they took him away. And I almost didn't get away, but I've been here waiting to see if they would come back.
Like almost broken from his trance there, he would say, "Yes, we are here to find him." At least Miyabi
Do-
is.
Why do you know him?
I do not know him, but there is an apprentice of his back near the settlement, and his apprentice is a friend of mine. He asked me to find his master. The
Oh,
people there think that he is dead, but the apprentice said that he thinks he is still alive.
Oh, you must be talking about Kanjo.
Yes.
He's good for nothing. He's a little twerp, if you ask me.
You know, I really got that feeling, and I couldn't even hear him.
I did not get that impression, but if you say it is so, Spirit, then it must be.
I can't wait if he meets him again. You are a twerp, go away. The spirit's
Go away.
no.
The spirit told me you are a twerp. Go away. Give me my money back.
I think if he did go back and talk to him, he would just kind of cryptically say, "The spirits do not think highly of you," and that's all he would say.
Do you know where they took your friend?
I might, but how do I know that you're not lying to me?
Good point. How do we prove we're not lying? I mean, I know I'm not lying, but how do I prove I'm not lying?
Literally the only thing that Miyabe could think to do is pull out the holy water that Kanjo gave him and just be like, "I do not know if this is proof, but this was given to me by Kanjo. I don't know if you can sense that it was given by him or not." And I know it probably has...
How do we not know that you didn't take it from him?
What? Yeah, now Crimmets? Suspicious of my Miabe.
You were literally, you were standing next to me when he gave it to us.
You also were bear hug trying to crush me just yesterday.
True.
I do not recall that.
Oh, I do. Oh, I do, good sir.
Aluna will explain that she's a shaman of the Basso, and that's what we are, right, Basso? That's right.
Yes. Yes, Luna, we are the
One doesn't know the tribe he's from, the other one doesn't know what plane of existence are.
It has been some time since we left, but that is what our tribe is, yes.
And that she is a longtime friend of the spirits, is how she'll word it.
You may be friends with the spirits, but how do I know that you're friends of Magdi?
We could be your friend. And friends of friends of friends.
I want everyone to roll kind of a group diplomacy check as you talk with Argil and
Yabe and
Wait for it.
Kermit just not.
Abner uses bluff, not diplomacy.
Wait for this killer diplomacy check, right?
yeah, you can see if you can bluff him.
Oh my
Oh.
gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Well, we all know who's got what for dump stats.
Well, for context, I was even working up a little bit on Aluna's behalf. She has got to be overwhelmed, because this is the first time she has seen a spirit since she lost the ability to. So this is probably very emotional for her. Which is
Did
why
she cry for 18 straight minutes?
Weeping.
I knew it was coming up. I knew
In
it.
the rain. Is it raining?
I
It
knew.
was raining.
Yeah. Unravel plays in the background.
13?
Yeah.
No, Jason, it was 1d30 plus
Yeah,
10.
I didn't roll that absurdly high number.
32.
32 straight minutes of reading. The spirits! Abner will look at him and he'll go, you can trust me. I'm an outsider, similar to yourself. I come from a different plane of existence, much like you. Wow. Freaking boy.
It's not even a lie!
I have an 11! And I got a 12!
Yeah.
Alright,
I just want to
alright.
point out that if we switched our roles, so like if Aluna rolled on the die what Miyabe rolled, it would have been a 16, and if Abner had rolled what Krimet rolled, it would have been a 19. But the two people with actual bonuses to their skills rolled natural ones.
You know, maybe we didn't do that bad.
Yeah, we did pretty
We
good
did
for
slightly average,
-1.
yeah.
Yeah?
So I'm gonna say with your rolls, it takes you a long time. Like this flying little water creature, like flies around you, like one at a time will like fly around you, like looking you up and down, and then go to the next person, fly up and down, and when he gets to you, Miyabe, he sees the bag that you have in your hand from the campfire, and he, like, with his little hands, he, like, pulls it open. He looks his little head inside, and he just starts, like, picking silver pieces out. He, like, takes some of the silver pieces. He goes and he looks, and he spends a lot of time on your two guns. And you see him actually, like, infuse into your gun, and he disappears. And then a few minutes later, he like comes out of the gun, and he'll float back up, and he looks at you and he says,
Well, I don't find anything on you that seems harmful to me. I don't know if I trust you, but I don't really have any other option for finding my master. So, I can lead you to where they took him. If you promise that you will help him escape.
I was just gonna say that when he was going through the bag of coins, and Miyabe saw him pulling out coins, he'd be like, I have others here too, when he pulls his own bag of coins. These ones are yellow, and there's some that are kind of brownish.
so he takes the gold and bronze and he just like tosses them over his shoulder, but he takes the silver and he kind of like pets it.
I
He, like,
have two here
clicks
that are
it.
kind of silver. They're not quite silver, but they have similar color.
Yeah, it's interesting because
Platinum?
in the description for Mamiwa, it says they love silver because it reminds them of rainfall. So he doesn't seem to care too much about the other coins, but he lingers on the silver pieces and his little eyes shine. And after a while, he'll say,
Magdi and I came here together with the expedition, and we found the nearby temple, which I think they called the Sky Tempest Temple. My friend Magdi is a follower of Gozra. He is one of the Storm Kindlers. He came down here trying to find a breakaway sect of the Storm Kindlers that had supposedly settled in this area a century ago. But I don't know many of this cult's secrets. I do know Magdi is kind. He is friendly. He would never do anything to hurt anyone. He only came because he wanted to find this temple and learn more about his faith and his cult. If you promise to save him, I will show you the way. And if I can, I will try to help you if you have to battle.
I will do everything that I can to make sure that he survives and is freed from the people who took him.
okay, so with that, when you guys are ready, Argil will lead you to where this temple is.
Miabe's got to be on cloud 9 because now he has 2 spirits. He's got his light spirit that floats with him, and now a little lizard spirit.
Yeah.
Who would have thought we would have actually met a spirit on this journey?
Right?
Genuine
I'm telling you,
bond.
sometimes you write a backstory for your character and it just perfectly fits.
And other times, you choose the wrong class.
Yeah, that also helps.
And for coming here and finding Argil,
17,000 experience.
3,200 XP.
Wow.
More than I thought.
I thought we were going to lose some with those rolls, to be perfectly honest with you.
That's too much, Sarah.
Oh, I'm sorry. 200 XP.
Thank you.
That's more like
Thank
it.
you. Thank you. I appreciate you.
As medium leveling, we still wouldn't have leveled up.
So, it took you 7 hours to get here. So it is probably mid-afternoon at this point.
Yes.
What does that put this total XP, Jace?
I only added up at the end of the session, so I don't know.
Oh, okay. Then it doesn't matter.
So you guys would imagine that you probably won't get to this destination. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh
No,
boy.
doesn't focus on it, doesn't work. Okay.
You probably won't get to this destination today. So it's up to you if you want to get as far as you can today, or you can go there at nighttime if you want to, but Argil would wait to hear what you want to do. If you want to camp out here, if you want to camp out in the jungle.
I'm following the spirits.
It is a little northeast from where you're at.
I think Miabe would want to go as long as there's time to. Like, getting there earlier is better than later. So even if we go part way and then wait till the next morning, we'd get there earlier in the morning than we would have if we didn't.
Okay.
So that's Miabe's thinking. And, like, as far as he knows, like, the spirit needs our help to save this guy. And so as far as Miabe knows, it's like a double win. It's like, help the spirits, but also save the guy. So, like, yeah.
Yep. So that dot is where you are going to end up going.
Yeah.
To camp
So we
for
could
the
go,
night.
like, maybe halfway or something like that.
Okay, so you guys are going to head into the jungle.
Welcome to the jungle.
Do we make it about to the base of this river? That'd be nice.
Yeah, that's doable. So as you're walking through again, like, you thought that the jungle before to get to this campsite was dense. This is oppressively dense. It is so dense and it's so humid. You guys are having trouble breathing. It's still raining, but the the jungle is so dense that really rain doesn't come down. It's kind of almost like the air itself is just so thick with water that it's hard to breathe. You're looking around as you walk through the jungle and you think to yourselves, there could be an entire city in here 10 feet away and I wouldn't know it because I can't see anything except like the 5-foot square that I'm currently in. You guys find a place to rest uncomfortably, but you do rest, wake up the next morning, and Argil is waiting for you to continue on to your journey. And with that, we will
Nice.
enter chapter 3. I don't know what your
Don't worry
craft
about
weapons roll was for.
It
Oh,
was
I
You
thought you were
rolled a
gonna say-
natural 1.
I thought you were going to say, I don't know what you were crafting, and I was about to say, he ain't crafting nothing with that.
Well, she picked up a stick and
It's
was like,
it's
"This is a good stick."
retroactively. I
You
forgot. I forgot I have to roll each day. I'm trying to make that sting chuck again. But,
Well, you
Oh,
did.
at this rate, you ain't going to make it for like a year.
correct.
Ugh.
"Can I
Don't make
put
progress.
mirror image in my spell book? How does that work?"
Yep,
You have
so-
to spend 1 hour, I think, to scribe it, and then 40 gold. And, like, scribing costs, like the fancy ink or whatever is used.
Okay.
You could feasibly do that.
Okay.
And then the scroll is destroyed.
Yep.
But
If
it
you
is now.
succeed.
Yeah, don't I have to do a spellcraft check or something?
I think you do.
That's if you want to decipher the writing, which you don't have to
Oh,
worry
right. You'd
about.
either need to have read magic or
And you're not copying it from somebody else's spell book, so you don't have to
I thought you had to roll
decipher
for that. For a spellcraft for a scroll. Because I thought there was something where if you don't do it successfully, the scroll's not destroyed. It's only destroyed once you learn it. But if you fail, you have to wait another day.
I think that's to... I'm looking it up.
Okay, you must spend... Okay, first you must decipher the magical writing. Next,
already
you must
know.
spend 1 hour studying the spell. At the end of the hour, he must make a spellcraft check, 15 plus the spell's level. A wizard who has specialized in a school of spells gains a +2 bonus on the spellcraft check. If the new spell is from his specialty school, if the check succeeds, he can understand the spell and can copy it into his spellbook. The process leaves a spellbook that was copied from unharmed, but a spell successfully copied from a magic scroll disappears from the parchment. If the check
So-
fails, he cannot understand or copy the spell. He cannot attempt to learn or copy that spell again until 1 week has passed. If the spell was from a scroll, a failed spellcraft does not cause the spell to vanish.
So I do have to roll one.
Yeah, you don't have to roll to decipher it because we already know what it is. You just have
Right.
to study it for an hour and then roll a DC 17 spellcraft check.
Here goes nothing.
Oh, no problem.
Crushed it.
Natural 19 for 28. So you got that in your spellbook.
And then it is 40 gold for a second level spell.
Yes.
Yeah, just in materials.
Took that out.
So yeah, you'll live forever.
That'll come in handy.
You can slot that tomorrow.
Yep. So you guys will awaken the next morning
We didn't
after
do-
Huh?
I mean, I didn't know we weren't going to do lookouts or anything, or it didn't matter.
I'm kind of hand waving it.
We all
You could. I would assume you probably did, being out here in the wild.
do spirits sleep because it could just stay watch all night.
I don't know.
I don't
Because
think
it's
outsiders sleep.
So,
Well,
wait,
Abner
why does
sleeps.
Abner
I
sleep?
was gonna say I
He
sleep
has-
and I'm an
He's an
outsider.
outsider with the native subtype, which is different. He's
Right.
not like a true.
well, this one also has a native subtype.
Oh, well then.
Air
yeah.
elemental native water.
Okay, then it would probably need to sleep.
Interesting. This is actually specific to this module.
Oh,
I did not know that.
So it's not in any other modules?
Well, no, it could be. It's just this was where it was introduced.
I think it's adorable looking.
you thought Zuif was adorable looking.
I did, and then there were certainly some skeletons in that closet. Big time. Ooh, shut that
fact.
closet door, walked away.
A neutral aligned 7th level spellcaster with the improved familiar feat can gain a Mamiwa as their familiar.
Oh, that's
Oh.
fun.
Yeah.
Well, Luna, get on it.
Yeah, maybe I will.
She can't even make skeleton face heads things.
Filled with bees.
Bees.
Alright, so you guys can wake the next morning, and those of you who need to prepare spells, you can do so. And then you can set off. Probably it'll take you an additional 2 to 3 hours to get there, but you would get there before noon. And it's strange because you're walking along in the jungle, and all of a sudden Argyle stops, and he says,
It's just ahead.
but you don't see anything but just dense jungle until you walk a little bit further and you kind of peer through the dense brush and you see a clearing with a giant structure.
Is it a pyramid?
No, it actually doesn't have any roof. It's just a one-story building that's basically just walls.
Well, that's gonna suck with all the rain.
Yeah. It's stone walls, but it still admits wind and rain from above. You can see that part of the stone is eroded. Some of the walls on the outside have collapsed. There's aggressive plant growth that has kind of crawled up the outside of the stone. But one thing that you can see peering through the brush is you can see stairs. Yes, you can see stairs that go up to like a platform that goes on the outside of these walls. And from where you're standing, you can see 2 lizard folk standing guard. and I can move us
Miabe,
over to.
Miabe would turn to the others while you're doing that, and he would say, "How do we want to proceed? It looks like they are guarding the place. We could rush in and take them by surprise."
I like surprises.
Peering at what we see, are there any more finer details or modes of approaching that Aluna can spot?
So it looks like on 3 sides is dense jungle, and then on the 4th side is the river. So if you spend some time scouting around, this is kind of what you would see. And again, like, you can't really see too much until you get right up and peer through, just because the jungle is so dense.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see anything.
I'm...
Working on it.
It's very dense.
Oh, you're not on the map?
I can see the whole right side.
You have to scroll. It's all going to be black until you zoom out and scroll.
It's
Yeah,
on that
sorry,
side.
it's on the right side.
I did not see that. I
Yep.
just saw a black screen.
So... Shoot. I gotta move everybody's...
Big area.
Hold on.
Yeah, it looks like it
Looking-
is.
Yeah, looking down, like, would you spend time, like, trying to look at all sides of it, or are you just looking at this one approach?
There's probably no reason not to.
Okay. So if you spend some time looking around, on the top portion, you see that there's the river. There is an area where the wall has broken down.
Oh, there it is.
2 areas where the wall is broken down. From this area, you can see on the beach, there are huts. And if you watch, you can see lizard folk moving around. You can see young lizard folk. You can see older lizard folk. Most of them are unarmed, just seem to be going about their daily business. You can also see other lizard creatures. Everybody who can, roll me a knowledge of nature.
Hey, guess who has knowledge nature now? Ooh, I rolled really well.
I rolled really poorly.
Hey, I beat all of you high bonus people.
Okay, so 18, 17, 16. You guys are able to determine that in addition to the lizard folk, there are monitor lizards
Yep,
that seem to
figured.
be, they're not like intelligent creatures. And then you can see, looking in here a little bit. Actually, wait. Shoot.
Are they like doing anything, or are they just living life here?
It looks like there's just like a tribe. They have the young and the old.
Yeah. Do we
It's like
slaughter
Miyabi
them all
once
like the
we-
caves?
The women
Okay.
and the children.
I was just thinking.
I was thinking the exact same thing. I killed them all, not just the men, but the women and the children.
This looks to be this looks like to be like what was once the main door going into this temple. This area has been completely collapsed. You can see some additional huts inside, but you can't see any further than that. You see in the beach, you see the monitor lizards that are just patrolling. Regular lizard folk are out there just doing stuff. And then you do see the 4 lizard folk that stand guard at the 2 kind of like outside points of the temple.
If we approach this at a slower pace and take some time to observe the camp for a duration of hours, perhaps, and take 20 on our perception, could we learn things like how many there are, their comings and goings, or if there's somebody in danger or something like that? Question mark to the party. Do we want to take that time?
I don't know if Miyabe is quite that patient.
Because we're coming here on a rescue mission, question mark?
Well, yeah, the goal is to rescue that guy, but I mean, the sheriff, I think, was she implying that, like we need to find the lizard folk to stop whatever they're doing. I don't know what they're doing, but whatever they're doing. I don't know if there's more of those shaman lizard folk here that we have to take out, like if they're doing some ritual in this place. But I think Miyabe's main goal is just getting that guy back.
I just worry about rushing in there with as many as there are. From a rough estimate, how many lizard folk does it look like there are?
So the guards that stand here, there's always ever 2 that stand here and 2 that stand here, and they will switch shifts with other guards. Probably the total number of lizard folk back here is 50, but again, the majority of them are unarmed, seemingly civilian. There's probably, you can see there are at least 2 monitor lizards and 4 to 5 armed like guards back there that switch off with the ones out here.
So once we've like scattered out a little bit and regrouped somewhere in the forest, Miyabe would say, "It seems that we have a few options. We could try to rush in from one of the main entrances and catch the guards off guard. Or we could try to go in through one of the holes in the walls. I suspect that they would have set up some sort of trap. I did not see guards there, and I doubt that they would leave it wholly undefended. The final option perhaps would be to go around the back where the tribe is and try to speak with them. They seem to have non-combatants there. Perhaps they will be open to negotiation. I do not think that will be the case, but at the same time I am hesitant to attack those who are innocent in this."
Aluna nods.
We don't even know if he's in there.
Have to agree with Miyabe. We set out to approach the lizard folk peacefully, and I believe we should try diplomacy.
Yeah, we could try that.
Do we want to approach them from the back where all of them are, or do we want to approach one of the guards?
Probably from the front and let them see us coming from a little ways off as not to appear too threatening.
Do we all want to be in the same place, or do we want 1 or 2 people to expose themselves and then the rest of us coming from a different angle in case things go badly?
Believe I'm the only one that speaks the language, correct?
That might not
They
be
speak
true.
Common or Gripply.
Yep, common or polyglot, so.
Common or polyglot. You speak their language?
Draconic.
Lizard folk or draconic, something like that, I don't know.
Yeah, draconic. Fletchlings get it natural.
So yeah, I don't know if we want, like, do we all want to go up there and like all 4 of us present ourselves, or just him present himself? I mean, because if he goes alone,
That's how Abner dies.
well, see, that's the thing. If he goes alone and they attack, Miyabe can get there fast enough to protect him, but they might be suspicious if he goes out alone and then we come up after him, and they'll be like, "How many more of you are hiding?"
I think we should just go all together and just be as upfront and honest as we can in our negotiations.
Well, also, I'm the only one that's like not human other than Kremit. So, right, so that's what I'm saying. So, like, shouldn't like maybe Abner and Kremit go? Because like they hate humans. We're not human, so
Yeah, I mean, the 2 humans could hang back. Because, like I said, Miyabe can get into there as quickly as he needs to.
pretty
He's
quick.
fast.
Yeah.
Okay, I will protect the squishy wizard.
You are my friend.
You got a friend.
Wait! I hear my longtime friend Nyari. She's near.
She just busts out. She's like, "This is what a blood ranger's supposed to be."
All right.
What's
Throws a
that
fireball.
one?
Let me show you a real Blood Ranger.
Yeah, I cast Enlarge and I run into Entangle and I don't do anything.
Let me just check the timeline real quick.
It checks out.
It checks out.
Checks out. All right, so the plan is for Kermit and Abner to go in first, with the other two hanging back.
Yes.
Which direction are you coming from?
I think
You
it's
said-
front, right, like here.
Well, yeah, you said the south used to be the front. Does that look like what they're like? Which direction would we consider to be like the front one? Like the one that we would go to if we were dropping off a package?
So I understand their street address, but where's their front door? You know, like where would we feel welcome coming in?
Like,
I think
is
these
it-
are the ones with doors.
Yeah, so these are the only doors. The only other places to get in have broken down, like walls that have tumbled. So these are the doors.
So we'll move down there. And
You guys are gonna hang back in the woods. Yeah.
I'll be partly in the fog of war. Just assume like I'm 50 feet back or whatever the distance to the woods is.
And yeah,
Just-
Luna will say like it's no secret that we're here if it becomes necessary to reveal that we are. You know, as you're talking. Oh, we healed
Okay.
up, I presume.
Oh yeah, I'm fully healed. We rested enough.
I don't know if I need to expend wands or not. Probably 2 wands. But
No. I'm fine.
Okay.
I get at this point I get like 7 hit points every time we rest, so I'm good.
Okay. So Kermit and Abner step out from the jungle. And you're not trying to be stealthy or anything about this?
Nope.
Okay. So you step out, and the guards are kind of like lazily looking into the jungle. But as soon as you step out, it doesn't take them long before they like snap to attention and immediately like put down their turbuchis and say to you in polyglot, "What is it that you're here for? Outsiders!"
Ah,
He
we could have
is an
spoken to them if it
outsider.
was in polyglot.
Do you not speak polyglot?
No.
Neither do I.
So
That's awesome.
Abner's gonna look up at him in Draconian. He'll go. I don't quite understand that language. Do you understand what I'm saying here?
You hear them say things to each other. Actually, Aluna and Miabe, are you within hearing distance?
There, however far away the forest line is,
Right. So we're at the edge of the forest.
is that
Within earshot?
within hearing range?
I would say that you probably can pick up a little bit. And
That's a
The one-
24 perception if you wanted to roll it.
yeah, the one basically says to the other one, "I have no idea what these guys are saying."
Yeah, they would whisper to Aluna and be like, "It would appear that nobody knows what each other are saying."
I try to talk in Gripply, I guess, to see if that'll help. Because I don't know. I don't understand what gibberish they're saying or what gibberish Abner's saying. So I just try to make up my own gibberish that nobody knows what I'm saying, I'm sure. But we are friends, not foes. We are here to look for someone.
They make no motion like they know what you're saying.
I kind of like
Aluna-
whisper to Abner, I don't think they know what they're saying.
Aluna will
Yeah.
put the ward on Miabe and then gesture to move up.
I do believe we've made a miscalculation. Nervous chuckle.
So as you guys approach closer to the actual structure, you can see that the foundation of Greystone that they're on is 5 feet above the ground. So they're currently 5 feet higher than you are on this foundation. And you can see on the walls outside of the structure, on the stone walls, you can see weathered carvings of a man and a woman cavorting in storms and ocean waves. And did you say something to them when you approached, or you didn't? Aluna Miabe.
Yeah, she'll just say, like, we're with this group, we can speak polyglot. and see what they say to that as we come up.
Oh, so you can speak our language. What are you doing here? Outsiders. Your kind is not welcome.
What was the name of the person that we're looking for?
Magdi.
Magdi Kugoyi.
And she'll say that we've come looking for the one called Magdi. And we heard that he might be here.
You refer to the shaman? The human shaman?
She nods.
We cannot divulge any information. If you would like to speak with someone, you must speak to the chief.
When can we speak to the chief, then?
Wait here. And the one on the... I'm sorry, you can't actually see them. They've been here this whole time.
I doubt
Just
it.
on the GM layer. Oops, that guy went on
Why
the
are
map layer.
those two at the bottom of the stairs, but these two are at the top of the
Oh
stairs?
man, I lost one of them. He got lost in the map. Shoot.
You
So
lost
easily.
one? I see 4.
Nope,
don't
I'm
think
talking
we'll-
about over here. So
How
I'll
much you do?
just copy him over and make him a thing. I thought, see, they all look grayed out to me like they're on the token layer.
We've already defeated them, guys.
So this one on the left will leave and go in here. And you wait, and it's awkward. The other one will call out to the other side, and before long, these other guys show up.
Haha, they fell for it. We had the other party of adventurers waiting on that side.
This is the problem with the parties of 8. Could you imagine?
After about 10 minutes, this other one comes back and he says, "Follow me. I'll take you to Chief Shatha."
Luna explains what is to happen.
Okay. So he will lead you through this direction. So this direction and up. And he will
Okay.
lead you into this room.
I was trying to find the spirits.
Yeah.
Stop
Do you
pacing, Doc
know
Mark.
of any nearby spirits? I am on a roll.
You're making me nervous.
Gotta get to my right. Okay.
There's so much evil people.
So this leads you into a room that has 3 conjoined huts together that faces the ruined walls that you came in. He leads you into the hut, and you can see there's warm furs and stained scraps of fabric line the floor inside this hut, and there's a burning brazier in the center that provides the light. Aluna just went on in, didn't she?
Well, you
When
said
he said that he
you-
leads us into
you
the
s-
hut.
What? You said you let him in. What do you say?
I'm getting there. I can't read, and
What do you mean she walked right in? You said they take you here, so that's where I go.
Do not walk
He
ahead of
leads,
us.
he leads you into the hut. Oh, you just go right into the hut, dude.
I know my way around.
How dare you?
In my reality, I had a hut just like this.
So 3, or actually, yeah. There will be 3 of these guys, and then they lead you inside, and there are 2 well-muscled, big, burly male lizard folk that are flanking a female lizard folk.
Burley?
And the one who came back to lead you in will say, "This is Chief Shatha. Show her some respect." And he kneels before her.
Where is she exactly?
In the hut, right here. Can you not see them?
No, you
I can
No.
see everybody
too.
except her.
I see that. I see those big muscle guys.
Okay. So this is her.
Oh.
Oh.
It's
And I
pretty hot for
can
a lizard chick.
show you the
It
bigger
doesn't take
one.
long. You knew he was gonna say it.
He says it about everything, right? Oh, that's pretty hot for lizard folk.
You knew he was gonna say it.
You know, disguise self has many uses.
And suggestion.
So they kind of flank her, and she stands there and she says, "Well, what do we have here? Outsiders from the human village. What is it that you want?"
Aluna will translate to the party. She's speaking polyglot.
Yes.
So she'll take a bit of a back seat and act as a translator for Abner and Kermit.
Aluna, would you tell her that we're here to discuss a recent lizard folk attack on the city? Mention Rezavas and her actions in the town?
Aluna is honest to her translation, but is careful with her speech to be as honorable as possible and not blaming them for anything.
Not accusatory.
Right, not
Right.
accusatory.
Before we have conversation, I'm just curious, where is everybody standing? So we got 2 over here and 2 over here?
No,
Next to the big
they're
one.
all in the hut, I presume.
Right here, constantly behind Miyabe. Abner just pokes his head out every
Well, I'm
once
just
in a
curious,
while.
because Cramp hits the fan. You two are like near the exit, and us, Luna and I, are just like
Well,
next to all
yeah,
of them.
if the entrance is over there, then Miyabe would be like, I guess there.
The entrance is with the side that Aluna and Kermit are on.
Okay.
Okay, so I guess
Oh,
we'd be on the
okay.
other side.
Abner's from the back of the hut. Tell him this!
Let some more people into the room that way. Yeah.
I don't want to get any closer in case violence erupts. Don't tell them that.
So as soon as you mention the lizard folk attack with Resavas,
And like I
She'll
said, like she says that those who were lizard folk, like she's not saying lizard folk attacked specifically. It's just that was what happened. You know what I mean? Like as non-accusatory as possible, because we don't know if they're responsible. There's multiple
Right.
tribes.
Right.
Resavas was not sent by me. Resavas was sent by Darthek. He no longer tells me his plans, so I had no knowledge of this attack.
And relays that, saying she had no knowledge. Blah blah blah. What's the matter, Jane?
She starts up her motorcycle. That's what it sounds like outside her.
It's just the lizards. The lizards in that pen are all just growling.
Yeah.
That's good.
So I'm sorry. What did you say, Josh?
She's just translating back and forth.
Okay.
So, Abner will say, well, we were hoping to speak to the person who ordered the attack to see if we could come to a diplomatic solution. Would you be able to point us in that direction? And also, we're looking for our friend, Bibbidi Bibbidi.
Magdy.
I can't ever remember her name.
Aluna quotes him.
Remember ham sliced gold though.
Aluna
We just
quotes
need
him,
nicknames for everything for him, and then he'll remember their names.
but forgets how he worded it exactly the rest of the way. So then says, finishing with her own, asks about the man.
Hibbidi-bibbidi.
Hibbidi
Hibbity bibbity bibbity.
Where's Hibbidi Bibbidi?
We need to know. We know you're hiding the hibbity bibbity. Tell us where it is.
The man is with us. You have not yet earned the right to see him. As far as speaking with Darthek, that's not going to be possible. He's locked himself in the underground, working on something. He promises that it will save us from this human invasion. He says it is the only way to keep our tribe safe from them coming and wiping us out. And I have no reason to disbelieve him. We have been acquaintances since childhood, and he has never steered us wrong.
Does Aluna tell me all that?
Yes, but before she does, She asks about the human invasion and in polyglot. In what ways have the humans hurt the lizardfolk? I know of Pryden's Hearth, but this one here and I, we are new.
It is only a matter of time. They have conquest in their hearts, and while they may have only settled on the beach, they will drive further inland, and it's only a matter of time before they come after us, and they take our homes.
Aluna only translates part of it, leaving out the bit that they exchanged, her and the chief.
I think Miyabe might jump in just briefly and he would say, "Is Magdi still alive?" Just to confirm that he's not, like, dead.
Mm-hmm.
He is not dead. We are not so cruel as to kill our captives. Not unless they provoke us to do so.
And then he would just sense motive to see if she's lying. That's it.
Okay. Everybody roll. So Jason, roll that for this, and then everybody else roll another sense motive.
I also would like to sense motive twice, if that's possible. First for the lie or not, if he's alive, and then I'll roll for what you asked for.
Okay. Okay. So your first one will be for if he's alive.
Yeah.
Okay. So for Miyabe's, he rolled a 16 to see if she's lying. Aluna rolled a 15 to see if she's lying. With that, you don't get the sense that she's withholding any truth from that. And then Abner and Krim, if you want to roll a sense motive generally for something.
Nah.
I mean,
No? Okay.
do you want me to, even though I don't know what she's saying?
You
Oh,
can,
that's true. You guys don't speak polyglot,
Yeah.
do you?
That's why I
mean,
said
can-
no, 'cause, like,
I try and infer based on her lizard facial expression. No. Nope.
The dice have spoken with a natural one.
You can
I
roll
see a
sense
mouth
motive
move,
for
but
it.
I can't hear what she said.
So, Aluna, when you were speaking with
real
her
quick,
before,
Chase wanted to say something. I'm not going to let him go.
I was going to say that they could roll sense motive to make sure Aluna's doing a good job as a translator.
Oh, yeah, that'd be fun.
And she's not just making stuff up.
she's saying hibbity dibbity dibbity doobity 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 da.
I'm
These
just
two over
enjoying
here are evil.
staring
You
at
should
the,
kill them.
Yeah. Oh, thanks.
Yeah, that's funny.
I was looking at the clan leader and her massive biceps.
Yeah, while she was translating, she also then said something and gestured to Miyabe. For all the Crimin and Abner knows, this is the turn. This is where they die.
He and I have come to aid you.
I see Kermit's doing the whole, like, smiling with no teeth, like, eh.
We have brought 2 sacrifices with us.
Yeah. yeah.
So what's the sense motive for, Sarah?
Okay, so Aluna, your sense motive, when she mentioned that Darthek has never led them astray, you noticed something flash across her face, almost like
He has.
a sense of doubt with that. Almost like when she said it, she was trying to reassure herself.
She'll translate the gist of the message. The other two are caught up to speed. And then we'll press her further. What was the guy's name?
Darthek?
Darthak? Do you truly trust the Mon Darthak?
Like I mentioned, he has been my friend since childhood. It was only until recently that he began to act more fanatical. And I do believe that he has our best interests at heart, but his methods, as of late, have been concerning. Namely, most recently, his requirement of a sacrifice.
To who?
But I have to trust. I have to trust that he knows what he's doing.
She asks him if is he sacrificing lizard folk?
She kind of purses her lips together and does not answer.
Miyabe, I think, might actually take a step forward hearing the sacrifice bit. And he would say, I do not know much about your culture, but I do know that sacrificing is not the answer, and it is never the answer. I was born to a tribe who would often sacrifice their own, and it only brought pain. And then he would also say, his plan of provoking the humans. I am not from there. As Aluna has said, we are new. But as a hunter, I know that you do not provoke a herd of animals that outnumber you greatly. It is unwise to pick a fight with the humans that you are not ready for.
So what do you expect us to do? Just sit back and wait for them to come and to kill us? They may outnumber us, but that is no fault of ours. We were living here peacefully long before any of them showed up.
So Kermit doesn't really know what's going on. He's just assuming stuff's going well because he's not dead yet. So I can just see him sitting there still smiling and nodding during all the serious conversations. Like, he thinks it's going really well.
Well, I mean, Aluna is still translating things that are being said. So, like, when Miyabe speaks, she translates, and she's translating for the chief, too.
She is.
Miyabe would...
Oh, well, I take that back, because now I just look like an a-hole.
Well, to be fair, her translation...
Sacrifices, and Kermit's like, uh-huh.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only part of her translation...
Tadpoles, yeah.
The only part of her translation that is not perfect is when the chief or her say something that implicates that perhaps Aluna is not on Pride and Hearth's side. Anything that would call that into question. Because I think,
kind of like,
from Aluna's perspective, like, she was sent here, and I think that she is coming to understand her role as some sort of mediator or to speak for the lands, because really, the way she's seeing it, although the lizardfolk may have overstepped, and although things may have gone bad, there's division among them, and Pride and Hearth is a colony, you know what I mean? These aren't their lands. And I think that is what her perspective is in all of this, and she doesn't know where Kermit or Abner stand in that, so that's the parts that she's not translating.
Well, I guess Kermit kind of says to Abner, like, in common, "Man, I'm glad I'm not tall folk right now."
I think Miyabe would respond to her last comment, and he would say, I admit that I am no strategist. I am not very wise, but it seemed as though they had not yet made a move against you. It was simply suspected that they would eventually expand and attack you, but they had not yet. And I wonder if perhaps provoking them so early is not perhaps inviting the very thing that you fear. But again, even if I am wrong, and attacking them is the correct choice, I must say once more, sacrifice is not the answer.
I am not comfortable with the direction that Dorothic is going, but I don't see any other option for us. We have nowhere else to go if the expansion continues, but if you can assure us that the humans will not continue expanding deep into this jungle, then we might be able to have a conversation.
I think Miyabe would look to Aluna, and then he might switch over to Common, perhaps, to talk to her. Well, then again,
we speak polyglot.
I don't know. Basically, he's of a mind like, this terrain is not habitable for humans. Like, this thick, marshy forest, like, it's not a good place for humans to live. So he's not sure that they would come in here anyways. But even so, he would probably be prone to giving his word of doing his best to dissuade them from expanding anymore. or at least setting certain areas off.
Luna will say to him that they may not want to live here, Abe, but man is cruel. And we don't know what resources are in the jungle, but she'll say, you know, she's heard the stories of them, you know, overtaking lands, even if not to live on, but to get resources from coal mining and maybe the trees, just like the sap. There could be a valuable resource, and so she's not so trusting of them. But in hushed tones, hopefully only the two of them hear it.
And then Miyabe would think, he's like, well, if it ever came to a situation where the humans were provoking and the humans were in the wrong, he would be willing to fight on the side of the lizard folk to defend them. Like, he'd almost want to say that to the chief there.
Yeah. I too can make that promise. I know the sheriff of Priden's Hearth, Adela. I do not think she is a bad person, but I will promise you this. We here will do our best to do right by you. I know that these are your lands.
Okay, so what I want you guys to do now is, because you are translating, and I'm assuming that you guys are kind of talking to each other before you communicate back and forth, I'm going to have you roll some skill checks just to see how well mechanically this conversation goes. The module gives a bunch, which some of them may not make sense in this specific situation, but I'm just going to put them out there anyway. You'll need to have a certain amount of successes versus failures. So you'll be able to roll 5 of these, and depending on things that you said in this conversation, you will get circumstance bonuses or potentially some penalties. But these are the skills. So bluff, diplomacy, intimidate, knowledge local, knowledge planes, knowledge religion, perform oratory, or sense motive.
So
multiple people can roll the same check, but you can't roll more than 5.
So just going through those, I would like to advocate that I can roll the climb skill.
Yeah, 'cause that worked out for you last time.
So
he uses his prowess at climbing to impress them into submission.
Sacrifice is not the way, but look at how I skill this.
Oh, actually, it says a single character can attempt a check in a certain skill only once, but multiple characters can succeed on the same check. So I guess, like, you can roll as many of these as you want, but you can't roll the same check twice, if that makes sense. So, like, Aluna could roll every single one of these if she had it.
right.
But you have to get 5 successes.
So I can. I was going to say, I do have each of these, except for perform oratory, I have perform percussion. Can she play her drum? And help the situation?
I'm gonna say no.
So
yeah.
how would I mean, I really have no part of this conversation. What would you want me to roll?
I am
Right, that's
translating
what I'm
something.
saying.
Motive.
It's like you're translating.
Right.
You're hearing what Aluna's saying. You're watching facial expressions, and you could, like, sense motive. You can pick up some stuff. You may be able to contribute knowledge local to Aluna to respond back to her with what she's saying. You may be able to give her some advice diplomacy wise. Like, you can work it out. You don't have to speak directly to the people. You can speak through Aluna, and Aluna can take that information and use it to speak to
Right.
the chief.
So I second Miyabe, and can I roll climb?
So is it one of those situations where we can just choose one person to make all of the checks, or do we each have to make? Because my best bonus is a 3.
Mechanically, I can do all of them except for planes, and I almost put a rank in planes, so I'm kind of kicking myself.
Well, the way I see it is there's not necessarily a downside to you guys rolling. It's just that you have to hit 5 successes. So it's like the more people that are rolling these, the more chance you have for
And
success,
it's not like-
whether you have a good... Yeah, it's not like if you fail 5 times, you're done.
Right. It's not
But
like
you said that only one person can roll each check.
No. one person can only roll each check once.
Gotcha.
So Aluna can only roll one knowledge local and only one sense motive.
But there
like,
might
you
be
can all roll.
I mean, statistically,
Right.
I mean, I don't know what the DC is, but I don't know how we can.
Well, I'll tell
pass.
you why. There are some repercussions, I'm sure, if you used Intimidate, for example, as part of your technique.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Is I would, if there's no downside to rolling, then I would also roll Intimidate when he was talking about sacrifices, just trying to be like very imposing and be like, that's not the answer.
Right, which I don't think that's out of line. I
support the sacrifices.
I was gonna say the two that I'm not going to do are
There's
bluff.
less people to trade with.
Bluff.
Now we definitely got some PvP.
Yeah. I wasn't going to roll bluff or intimidate because Aluna's.
Change your face. Yeah, but it's just like, you say what?
You said what?
Spirits are stupid, huh?
So basically, I can go down the line then, because I'm not going to do bluff or intimidate, but just because I don't think that Aluna is going to use those methods.
Yeah.
But Abner might.
I would say make it make sense for your character.
Right.
So I mean,
So I'm thinking Miyabe will roll his Intimidate, Knowledge, Religion, and Sense Motive. Those are the three that I think he would reasonably roll. In
I
this
think we should
instance.
go one at a time, and from the order. So we'll start with Brandon, whatever he picks, and then we'll just go. That way all the
So
rolls
I guess
are-
out of all these, I kind of feel like since I didn't really contribute talking, I don't really, not that they're great, bluff diplomacy, but I do have knowledge local to contribute, and I also have a sense motive, so I guess I can take a crack at those.
Yeah.
So I will
Alright.
start at the top, knowledge local, not
Okay.
bad,
17.
and sense motive.
Because
Hey!
about sense motive too, like even though you might not be able to understand what they're saying, all the more you're paying attention to body language. So for example, earlier Aluna noticed that she wasn't being holistically honest. You could detect that timber, or if someone was lying and say, hey, you should ask her what, that kind of thing. So it's not hard to justify this kind of stuff.
So 17 knowledge local and a 20 sense motive from the Crimsters.
Miyabe.
Okay.
Jason, which will Miyabe roll?
So I was thinking Intimidate, Religion, Sense Motive.
Okay.
I'm gonna do terribly on all those because it's a 3, and a 1.
Okay.
4.
Roll high, buddy. Roll high.
Yeah, as I expected. That's an 8 on Intimidate, as expected. It's a 5 on Religion, as expected. This is going exactly as I thought it would. And somehow my +1 is the highest at a time.
Oh gosh, you are not a skill monkey.
Exactly.
How do you go from Vicket to this guy? It's just so night and day.
I have the skills. I've got an 8 in climb, a 6 in acrobatics, a 7 in stealth, a 7 in survival, a 6 in swim, a 6 in perception. It's just none of the skills that are on this list are my good skills.
Yeah, so I'm going to take quite a few of these with a caveat question. Planes I don't have a rank in, but is it, like, can I hit a DC 15 question mark? Or, okay. So then I will roll ahead and roll diplomacy.
Okay.
Pretty good.
Knowledge local, because I'm not going to do bluff or intimidate.
Pretty good.
Nice. So 17 diplomacy, 23 knowledge local,
Knowledge religion,
26.
and sense motive.
Pretty good.
Oh, you let me down. I thought you were going to keep going.
Okay.
23.
Yep.
Solid.
Alrighty. And Abner Calhoun.
Real quick, talk about a benefit. I just got wisdom to all of my knowledges, and it's
Right.
like, here, roll all
Yeah.
these knowledges for me real quick. Are you okay?
Yep. So we're gonna do a bluff.
Okay.
Nice.
29 bluff.
It's our highest one so far.
We're
Beautiful.
gonna do a knowledge local.
Also nice.
We're gonna
24.
do a knowledge planes,
21.
and we're going to do a knowledge religion.
23.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Look
There
at
you go.
our shortcomings there.
Yeah,
Okay,
on the
okay.
knowledges.
Okay,
Um,
let me just point something out. I just want to point something out. So the natural rolls. Brandon had a 13 and a 16 on the die. Josh had an 11, a 14, a 17, a 14. Justin had an 18, 17, 14, 16. I had a 5, a 2, and a 9.
He took all our worst rolls.
Listen, roll 20 hates the Whitings. They
No.
hate us.
No, I think it's
It's
Blood
literally-
Rangers. I think it's Blood
Oh.
Rangers.
I have a level in Barbarian now.
There's not a piece to
Well, I
go.
gave you a 9. Come on.
Kieran's first attack roll was a natural 1.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what the class
I
is. It's just us, the
remember
player.
you pulled out your flail and you made a
Oh.
big like show of it. Nat 1.
Glaive, not a flail.
Glaive, excuse
Very
me.
different.
She flailed
Yeah.
the glaive.
I flailed that glaive.
So can I
Okay.
ask to peek behind the screen a little bit? How are we doing with the circumstance bonuses too?
Well, so here's what I'll say. It was a DC 20, so you didn't even need the circumstance bonus.
I did.
Well, no, you just all collectively have to succeed at 5.
Right.
Yeah, I know, but I needed it to do anything.
Even with that, you didn't come
Yeah.
close. So
Circumstance.
you guys killed it on the knowledges. So Kermit's sense motive, and then knowledge local, knowledge religion, sense motive, knowledge local, knowledge planes, knowledge religion, bluff. So yeah, you guys definitely were able to, and it kind of leaves it up to the GM. There's a couple things that you could do that give specific bonuses. If you had killed any of the lizard folk on your way here, that would have given you penalties. So it's probably a good thing that you didn't do that. But yeah, so as you're having this conversation, you can see that you're making good arguments, and her resolve is slowly starting to break down, and it doesn't help the fact that she seemed to kind of be doubting what was happening, like, in the first place. So at the end, she sighs heavily, and she says, well, you are right. Nope, that's not the voice. You are right. Sorry, I had a frog in my throat. No offense.
She ate the leaf. Kill her.
Far back. Jeez.
Do not worry, I will not translate that part. I mess up my own accent all the time. It is okay.
What a faux pas in a diplomatic
mean it.
situation.
I'm sorry.
No, it's
I have a
okay.
frog in my throat.
It's okay. He only speaks common. To be honest, Kermit is a bit of an idiot.
I was trying to get more circumstance bonuses.
Do not worry.
Success!
Forget this conversation ever happened.
We can
Like,
retcon
Grimmett,
it.
you might want to leave.
You're right. You're right. We will allow you to head down into the depths of the temple and see if you can stop Dorothek from completing his plan. I cannot stop him. He is far more powerful than I am, and I can't even open the doors to get to the lower temple. However, I have something here that might help you. I just don't have the other half. I'm not sure where that is. And she'll pull out this jade seal, like half of a jade seal, and she'll give it to you, and she'll say, in order to open the doors into the depths, you will need to find the other half. I think it's somewhere in this temple, but we have kept pretty much to this half.
What's so funny, Jace?
The other half is in the ruins that you never went to.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
You have to spend the next 10 days traveling back.
Yeah, I thought for sure it was gonna be like,
No.
you were supposed to find this earlier.
You
But you
misunderstand.
not-
It's in this temple. It's just hidden somewhere in this temple.
Inside of an ooze.
Since we succeeded all of our stuff, do we get a chance to maybe at least talk with the captive?
Oh,
Yeah.
hold on. I'll get to that in just a second.
My apologies. I don't even know what's going on right now.
Yeah.
Here, you can... I'll give you some things to borrow that might be able to help you. If you promise, as you have, to look out for our best interests in any negotiations back with your people, you're welcome to use these things. And she will hand you a pair of boots, which she will say, these are boots of elven kind. Hold on, I've got to look up what they do, because I
+5 acrobatics.
remember.
It's okay.
They give you a plus, they help you jump
Well,
further.
okay.
Did you...
Okay.
Magic Guy knows everything about the magic items.
I haven't washed them in a while, so they might not smell very good, but they'll still get the job done.
I think the only
you
one
just
of us
take them off and hand them to us?
Yeah.
Right on the feet. Right on the feet. I guess the last for you. Here you go. Oh, sweet.
looking at the
Here's
picture,
my
I think
chain shirt.
the only one of us who could fit those boots is maybe Crimit, because our
Why?
feet are very different than hers.
I don't know.
It's
They
a-
might magically form to fit your feet. I don't know
No,
how these.
yeah, they would. I was making a joke.
What's
Did she kill an elf for those?
She will, from around her neck, she will take off an amulet.
She was taking off her items.
She deep-robing!
Just give me time. I've got more.
Takes off her pants.
What? Wait! I'm not a.
okay,
No.
Usually we don't even wear clothes in the first place. So
Man, I chose the wrong archetype. I should have been the seductor
Crimit's
witch.
going.
Doing one of these.
She will,
Oh man, I thought the crisscross applesauce was crossing the line. I don't know what's going on. First, she hit a frog in her. Never mind.
she will say, if possible, if you are able to negotiate with your people for land in the area around your settlement, perhaps we would be able to settle there as well and open up trade routes. I give this to you as a token of goodwill.
and it is an amulet of natural armor +1.
Oh, is that what they
And
would
then-
want? I'm surprised. She's like not just wanting to have them leave them alone. She's willing to kind of move towards a coexistence.
Yeah,
Was-
we made really convincing arguments.
Right. It would be
Yeah, I think
mutually
she-
beneficial.
She's
Yeah.
the capitalist lizard folk.
And then she will go back to like there's a chest near a mat that's on the floor, and she'll open it and she'll pull out a great club, and she will say,
This has been in my family for generations. Passed down the Armstrong line for generations.
Yeah.
She will hand it directly to you, Miyabe, and she will say, you look like the only one that might be able to wield this. It should prove useful in anything that you find down below. And it is a +1 Ghost Touch Great Club.
Oh.
Ghost touch? Is that going to be
Ghost-
important?
Yeah.
It sounds like that's going to be important.
It sounds like to me I would like to re-prepare my spells for the day. Grab some ghost touch and ghost bait if you don't mind.
Right, we got potions of fear.
Yeah.
We got ghost touch.
I will tell the guards no longer to bar your passage, and you may walk freely among the temple.
Cool.
I gotta be honest, I'm super happy about this because as I was thinking about Aluna's character progression alongside this storyline, it was already in the back of my head since like the beginning that Aluna could not remain loyal to Pride and Seraph, depending on how these events unfolded. Like I just found no way that her moral conviction would lead to that. So it's nice that just naturally in the course of the story that came up to be a pretty central theme. Pretty cool.
Real or not, look at all the XP we're leaving on the table. I'm just saying.
We could be level 10.
Yeah, so
Wait until they strip all their weapons and armor. And
They all just keep
Bad.
stripping.
Does anybody want to roll for the Great Club?
No,
Okay, I'm
you
gonna
can have that.
for successfully negotiating with her, you win, or you are granted
We win.
2,400 XP.
Okay.
Oh man, she was probably worth more than that. Oh no.
Maybe. But we would have lost out on the trade routes.
yeah, also look at how much HP that we
True.
Actually, just also,
All right.
Abner's storyline is another one that's plugging along real nicely. Not only does he secured enough funds to open up a shop, he has now done successful networking inside the community and with probably the most beneficial contact in these lands. Like,
Yup. It's gonna go
capitalism.
well.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great.
You're
It's gonna be great.
You're gonna make some money. It's gonna be
Go
good.
make that money. Abdar will be
Josh
pleased.
compliment Miyabe and my character now.
It'll come around.
Oh, when we deserve it, right?
Right.
When you've earned it.
When you write a good story, that's when.
Count Calhoun. I like the sound of that.
Oh.
Count Calhoun.
Count Narcissus just turned up dead one day. It was the strangest thing. It's
What
like
happened?
he burned alive in his mansion.
Kermit multi-class into
Weird.
ninja. and
Weird
took
way-
care of the problem for him.
Strange way to commit suicide, huh?
Yeah, right. He just couldn't handle the pressure anymore, and he just lit himself on fire.
Count Calhoun says goodbye.
So tragic.
Why? Who are you attacking? For what purpose?
I was just checking to make sure that the ghost touch note was coming up on the weapon.
Yeah, it deals damage normally against incorporeal creatures.
A little bit of a decrease in damage die, but
Abner looks at Miyabe and explains to him that that's a spirit killing weapon.
oh shoot!
Oh, snap. He's not wrong.
As a player, I know there's a big difference between ghosts and spirits.
But does
However-
Miyabe.
But does Miyabe?
Well, Miyabe would look to Aluna.
Luna,
Or you-
right?
Actually, no, he would look to the spirit. That's no, they do. Wait, is the spirit with us?
Spirit sitting on your shoulder.
How big
Okay.
is that salamander?
It's tiny.
Oh, it's so
Tiny
he would
creature.
actually he would turn his head to address the spirit, and he said, "Is that true? Is this a spirit-giving great club?"
The little Mamua will move and like go into the weapon and disappear.
Oh, he's
And
dead.
after like after like
He's dead.
15 seconds, it will come out and it will say,
I don't think that it's going to hurt me. You could try to hit me with it, but I would
Hey.
probably just die. I don't think it would be anything special of the weapon. It would probably just be the fact that you hit me with a club.
I'm not going to do that.
It's so cute. I want him forever.
Probably
I
just
think
die.
I think that it might be useful against evil spirits.
Ah, it is good then. Okay.
Aluna kind of like thank you to the mummy.
Abner
you see
goes,
them-
and like runs out of the building.
you see the Mamua look to Aluna and just wink.
Yeah, exactly. We both tell a couple of white lies to keep things moving.
Finger pistols.
Yeah.
Did multi-class in guns.
I gotta say that is
Abner
a
goes, I know that move, and accidentally sets fire to the hut.
bang, bang. Everyone's like, what was that? What in
She's screaming
the
and she's like,
world? I knew this was a mistake. We can never trade with humans.
Good thing we're not humans.
Yeah, I'm not a human. He runs into the forest.
Beautiful.
all right.
So now we just gotta find the other half somewhere in this temple.
So yeah, amulet of natural armor, don't need it. Boots of elvenkind, don't think I need it. Ghost touch great club, not gonna use that. So
She will tell you, she will say, to the north is where you will find the man that we have held down the hallway, last door, well, not really door, last opening on the left. The first opening on the right, might not want to go in that room. There's a lot of bugs in there. We try to steer clear of that area, but it's up to you. If you want to take care of that for us, I'm not going to stop you, but we try to avoid that area. First door on the right, I'm sorry, L for left. There's a guy in there. He's kind of an old kook. If he asks you to fight him, feel free. He used to be the old chief, but I beat him and I took his spot, and he just stays in there trying to fight us. But he's pretty much harmless. It's only if you just want to try your luck against him. The last door on the right, there's another strange creature in there. She's a boggard. She just sticks in her laboratory working up potions and stuff for us. She's got a bit of a sore history. We don't typically work with the boggards. They're our sworn enemies, but she's a traitor to her kind, and she joined our side. So she helps us by making potions and kind of keeps to herself. She's a little temperamental, so I don't know if I would bother her. But yeah, last door on the left is probably the one that you want. If you see the guards sleeping in there, feel free to knock them upside the head for me.
She'll relay all that.
Switch his mod for pistol whipping.
Yep.
Standard action, just remember.
So this went
Full
swimmingly.
round action, actually.
This went really well, right, guys? Like,
It went a lot better than I was expecting, to be honest.
yeah, me too.
I'm kind of glad that Miyabe went around to see the women and the children, because then I kind of made the red flags to me that we probably shouldn't go in guns a-blazing.
Well, no, and then when I was like, how many people are there? She goes, 50. And I go, yeah, maybe we just talk to these people. This just sounds like a bunch of people just living life.
Well, last time I checked, I got 50 bullets, so...
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, we got the bullets. We can make this happen.
My gosh.
I mean,
So,
what would they be? Commoners at best? Level 1?
Yeah, it wouldn't be great. Your alignments would definitely shift.
The action economy, I mean, I think we could win the fight.
I don't doubt that you could. I really don't doubt that you could. So, this is the hallway that she spoke of.
so we would go to the door that she said to go to, because she mentioned that there's a boggart in one, an old guy, and the other one probably not anything that we need to go into unless we don't find the piece in one of the rooms.
I love how she like, just kill the old guy if you want, whatever.
I mean, don't kill him. He just wants to, wrestle people just because he's
I don't
He's
want to
another-
wrestle an old man.
a
Yeah,
real fighter.
Someone want to wrestle?
It reminds me of this old guy who used to be a champion of the ring, and he's just a washed up boxer these days, but he still likes to spar every once in a while. It's like, come on, arm wrestle me. What are you,
You
a
just
punk?
like the Rocky movies.
Come on,
How
dude.
about you? How about you?
Hey, come on now.
Bully!
Put your arms
We're having a
up.
bully day, bully!
Put your arms up. Come
As
on.
you walk by these lizards, they hiss out at you, and you see sparks of electricity flying off of them.
I know what those are.
And they're very aggressively pawing at the cage, and she'll be like, "Oh, don't mind them. We're trying to tame them, but it's not going very well. So don't let them out, please."
We can squeeze them.
Did they have their
Just
debuts
use-
in
all they
Rune
want.
Lords? Question mark. Or were they?
Eh?
Did those shocking
Yeah.
lizards have their debut in Rune Lords? I think that's the case, right?
Probably because it was the
Probably in an
first AP.
earlier
So
probably in an earlier version of D&D.
Do you think? I wonder
Maybe.
how old they are.
in AD&D, I don't know.
Classics.
I have no idea.
So,
So-
yeah, did you want the natural armor then?
You should take it. It's going to be much better for you because I'm going to end up casting Barkskin on Miyabe most likely.
Berkskern.
Barkskin.
Berkscan.
Now I have the most HP and probably the most AC.
Barkskin.
That's what you're getting at, man. I'm like, wow, Crimit's gonna be tanky. He's
Crimit-
gonna have the highest HP and the highest AC.
If Crimit
And I do
lives,
the lowest damage.
he will
What is
be
your-
OP. It's great. What
What is your HP?
Max HP of 47, AC of 19.
Okay. Because I have a 44, so.
Jerome
his
at
highest
level 10, I
HP.
think, has a level. It's 40. What is it?
And I'm a 2-foot tall grippy.
2 foot tall Gripply.
That's insane.
His nickname's gonna be Crimit, the armor piercing carriage. What's your last name? Do you have
Marsh
a last
Croaker.
name? Marsh Croaker.
So she said
His
that
boxing
there
name.
were bugs along the way.
Yeah, so she said, don't go in here unless you want to, because there's a lot of bugs. This is the laboratory where the boggart is. This is where the older lizard folk is, and then this is where they're keeping the guy.
If we wrestle the guy, we probably get experience. Miyabe.
And she said it was good to go. Yeah, you should wrestle the guy before we leave.
I want to wrestle the boggart.
So, Miyabe, as you walk by, you hear, coming from that room, you hear, "Oh, you mewling yolk sucker! Get in here and fight the reigning champion of the Mireborn fighting pits!"
He really is an old
Hey, you just heard I just
I
heard
bet you can't take me on. I've seen my victories in the ring, and no one can best me anymore.
I just heard from the other one that she beat you.
No! I let her win. I was tired of leading the tribe, and I let her beat me.
Why didn't you just stop leading the... Why did you have to let yourself lose to do that?
It was a matter of pride for her.
Okay.
Sense motive.
Are you gonna come fight me or not?
Is this a fight, like, with weapons? Like,
What?
what is this fight?
No! With fists! Wrestling like men!
As
And
God
those are-
intended.
I am not terribly proficient in unarmed combat.
It's not so much unarmed as it is just grappling.
Well, I don't have improved grapple either, so...
Don't worry, I won't take any attacks of opportunity.
Oh, okay. That's,
Turning into a pirate.
Yarr!
Yarr! Get in here and fight me.
Vast ye matey.
Does Miyabe
I
go
mean,
in?
Miyabe would go for it. I mean, he's unlikely to win because he's not like pure strength. He's like across the board strength and con. So
Yeah.
it's not like he's a pro wrestler or anything. But he, like, it seems like there's no reason not
Right.
to.
Aluna, as he goes in, though, like, don't kill him, Abe. Please be careful.
So that's
Oh, look at
who you
him.
see.
Look at
That
him.
is not unarmed.
That's not it. He has a sword.
That's not an official token. That's just one I found. He actually probably doesn't actually have flaming hair, but looks cool.
That sounds like a good skit, though. Let's fight each other unarmed. You know unarmed.
Miyabe's gonna need a shower after this. That looks disgusting.
Yeah, so Miyabe, as you come in, the north side of this chamber has a cracked stone floor, and to the south lies a pool of thick mud in which several rows of web-footed tracks are visible. Torn cloth and leather flags of varying colors decorate the wall, each held in place with a metal spike embedded in the stone. He'll say, that's a boy. This ought to be a good fight, and next... After I get done with him, if any of the rest of you want to fight me, I will fight you.
Okay.
Okay. So,
Again, I am not confident, but I will do my best.
I can see this hulking figure of a man about to fight an old man. I'm not confident, but I'll
An
do
old
my
man.
best.
I have never attempted this sort of combat before. I have always,
Bulging muscles.
I've always had a massive hammer of some sort.
listen, if you are able to beat me, I'll give you my champion's belt. And you can see around his waist is a belt that is adorned with cerulean and jade, and it's loaded with gaudy knickknacks and flair.
I don't know if I need that, but okay.
If I
it's
cast
fabulous.
a detect magic.
Wait, if that is the champion's belt, then why is the other one now?
What? You cut out on me there. What'd you say?
I was saying that you let the other one win. So why is the other one not wearing the champion's belt?
Because I was actually the champion.
Miyabe,
I
it's a logical
win.
debate with this guy
What?
of like, you're not the strongest. I don't know why you keep saying that.
Also, the sense motive. Did he let her win, or was he bested?
He was bested. Alright, hold on. You back up there, and I'll back up here, and then we'll start it. One of you back there, do you have a loud object to signal the beginning of the fight? Otherwise, I'll just say go.
Kermit pulls out his gun. Oh wait, what is he speaking in? What language?
Polyglot.
Kermit does not do that.
Well, Aluna will translate. It's fine. She's laughing a bit, and
Kermit pulls out his gun.
she'll.
I gotta
explain.
shoot now. And then he just fires.
Fires. Okay. You hear some screaming coming from outside.
Oh, what was that? Ah! By the
He's
gods!
like, "Oh, don't worry about them. They're all weak." And now we will
Oh wait.
both roll
Sorry. Give me a second. Actually, I want to see if this misfires. It's only misfire chance of 2, but let me.
I'm gonna die if it just jams.
Okay, it does not, but I'm up to a 3 now.
Almost.
Almost. So close.
What are you talking about? That's not close.
You rolled a 3.
Yeah, Russ, never mind. You're right. That was really close. That was really close.
What are you talking about? That
Oh my
wasn't
goodness
close.
gracious.
Okay. Alright, so Miyabi, go ahead and roll initiative with this guy.
Roll +2. Well, that's better than it could have been with the
What's
+2.
his initiative?
Probably more than a +2.
You are still warded. Not that that'll help, but your CM.
It will help, but yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Okay.
My CMD goes up.
Nice.
Alrighty, let me get everybody else out of here because it's just Miyabi. So Miyabi, what did you roll?
15.
Oh,
I only have a +2, so I
you
rolled a
just
13.
barely eked him out. He rolled a 14.
Hey.
So you get to act first. Let me get some combat music going up in here. Actually, this might be maybe more jovial music.
Yeah.
Let's see what this is. Okay.
Welcome to
So
the
we have-
medieval fair. We will have many games like jousting and sparring. Come on,
And
come
wrestling
on.
in the mud pits.
Take a
mud
seat
wrestling.
now. Right of a knight's tale.
Okay, Miyabi, you get to go first.
If I really wanted to win, I could just rage and get a massive bonus, but that makes no sense.
No, why would you be mad?
So I guess. So, going off of the theme of Miyabe never doing this before, he's not sure what he should be doing. So I guess he would step up and then maybe ready an action to grab this guy if he came at him. He's not sure if he's supposed to
Okay.
like rush at him or if he's like supposed to meet him in the middle. So he goes up and he readies an action that if this guy comes in range, he'll just, I guess, try to grab him.
Okay. A cautious lad, I see. That might be unwise, but we'll see. Hold on, my cat just took my loofah out of the bathroom and is walking around with it, so hold please.
This is so ridiculous. Let's cut out unnecessary combats and encounters. Fight this old crazy man for me real quick, will you? Then we'll get on with our grand adventure.
It's not unnecessary if it's fun.
That's true.
Well, you kind of want to win it. That's the only thing I'll say.
Well, if we lose, he
I
kills
know
us.
for a fact. I tried to say it earlier, but I don't think you heard me. I wanted to cast Detect Magic. That belt is good, right?
Oh, that belt is
It's-
detecting some magic.
Yeah, it's juicy. It might even be so good to be mighty. That would be amazing.
So he's gonna rush at you, Miyabe, and just try to hug you around the waist.
So my
Miyabe's-
ready to action would go off first.
Yes,
That's true.
And
So I'm gonna roll.
is he
Ooh.
charging? No, he's not.
He can't. He's not 10 feet away. So I'm going to roll a CMB to grapple him.
Okay.
Middle of the road, 15 against his CMD, probably not enough.
Yep, so you go to grab out at him, but he's a little slippery with mud, and so you just kind of slip off. So he will go ahead and try to grapple you for a
Cast grease
oh,
on
hold
me.
on.
Miyabi's like, I need grease.
Over there, rolling with advantage, it sounds like.
No, it's because it landed under my phone, and when I picked it up to see it, I rolled it, so I didn't know what the number was. So that's going to be a 16 against your CMD.
It is a fail.
All right, so he goes to grapple out at you and is unsuccessful. So now it is back to your turn.
I will, I guess, try to grapple him. Let's paint this scene a little bit. So Miyabe, so he comes out kind of fails to grab him. So Miyabe is kind of thinking like maybe I can start to push him into like the corner or something. So like maybe Miyabe like steps to the side here and goes to grab him, seeing if he can get him to back up into that corner or something.
Okay.
A little bit better. 16.
So a little bit better, a 16, but that does not beat his CMD.
I wouldn't think so. I'm rolling an 8 and a 9.
So he will laugh out and he'll say, "Ha ha ha! I'll corner you!" And he will grapple out at you with a natural 1. Actually, maybe what he tried to do is he tried to go after you when you were still in this square, but you stepped to the side and he just kind of like lurches forward and you're not there anymore.
Okay.
Now it's your turn again.
I will go behind him. We're going do here.
Do-si-do.
And there we go. 5 on the die for 12.
Let's do this for 3 hours. This is so fun.
Yeah, this is gonna go on forever.
I'm telling you, if I could roll well, but no.
Yeah. I was gonna say Crimit.
Do you want to
Crimit
just
does the meme where it's the astronaut behind the guy behind the other astronaut with the gun, and he was like, "You are always gonna lose," and shoot Liz in the back of the head.
So this time he's going to try to bull rush you
Push
back
you
into the wall.
into the wall to take 1d6 damage.
Yeah,
I got it.
I don't know much about Bull Rush, so I don't know if you need to have a running start or how that works.
Let me see.
It provokes.
I mean, all of this would have provoked if we were
Yes.
doing provokes.
Yes.
So you can bull rush as a standard action. A bull rush attempts to push an opponent straight back without doing any harm. It does provoke an attack of opportunity. He does not have improved bull rush, so
I mean, I guess I could do a grapple as a attack of opportunity, or can you do that?
I don't see why not. It's a standard action.
I don't
Or
think you can. I think it has to be an attack for an attack of opportunity.
Does it?
Let's see here.
No.
I don't know.
Combat maneuvers are attack rolls.
In this case, can take an attacker for free. These free attacks are called see the attacks of opportunity for how they work. It doesn't say you can. I mean, they are.
It says, while many combat maneuvers can be performed as part of an attack, full attack, or attack of opportunity, others require a specific action.
Yeah.
So that's a 17.
No, that fails. And grapple says as a standard action, so I'm not going to read too deeply into it, so I'm just going to say no. So he does not manage to bull rush me.
Okay. So you guys are just locked in this combat.
And
Okay.
Miyabi's not going to move this time. He's going to hold his ground. And another 8 on the die.
My gosh. Okay. So this time he will, for a 3.
Yep.
And that's the roll is a 3, but it's not enough.
Yeah.
So
I have not
It's
rolled
good.
above a 10.
it's good to know you're as good as an old lizard folk.
I just did it for fun. Do you want my rolls?
I saw your combat maneuver was probably enough to do it.
We'll just keep going back and forth until this happens. There, down to an 11 now.
Except for on the die.
One of these days, one of us is going to roll
okay.
super high.
Natural 18.
Okay.
So I think that is going to beat your CMD.
Okay, what is it?
What's your CMD?
You tell me what the roll is.
But then you know what my bonus is.
You should just show your
My
cards.
CMD is 21.
Okay, it's higher than that.
Wait, with Ward?
Yeah, Ward brings it to a 21.
Yeah, this was a 27. So he grapples you finally. So now we are both grappled.
Yes, which has no mechanical
Difference.
thing here, because his AC should go down by 2, and my CMB will actually stay the same.
Yeah, I'd say the same.
So
Okay.
actually, it gives me a better chance of breaking out of it than normal. Interesting.
Yep, so now it is your turn.
Yep, so he'll try to break out of the grapple.
Okay.
He should have a better chance, because his CMD should be lower now.
Do you have to break out, or can you fight to take control of the grapple?
Yeah, I can try to reverse it, yeah.
Okay. I was just trying to remember.
So yeah, I'll try to reverse it, but yeah, we'll see. Nope.
A natural 1. Okay.
Yep. I'm telling you, I cannot roll anything above a 10.
So he is going to try to maintain the grapple.
Oh, he's going to succeed. I don't think he can fail.
That's a 15.
Is that with the bonus 5 that he gets?
Oh no, then 20.
Yeah, that I only have a 19.
Okay.
Now that I'm grappled, I only have a 19.
So does that mean that you're pinned?
No.
Yeah,
Or
There's-
if he wanted to pin me, yeah.
There's one other
Okay,
step,
he's-
I think. I just put
Is
the
there?
flowchart.
I don't think so. If you succeed a grapple against a grappled target, you can pin them as one of the enemies.
I mean, do you lose ward? Because it says the ward lasts until the warded creature is hit. Does being grappled considered being hit?
I have no idea.
Because it just says, yeah, the ward lasts until the warded creature is hit or fails a saving throw.
I mean, he hasn't taken damage, so I don't know if...
I just don't know if that counts as being... Like, if you bull rush and you were able to grapple and hit and deal damage, but I don't know if... Because I feel like being hit, it's almost like... I know it's an attack roll for what Jason said, but I don't feel like it's an attack.
I'll read ward real quick.
I just read
Yeah, so I guess if he maintains the grapple, he will pin you on the ground,
Right.
and he will say, "Oh, do you give up yet? Have you been bested by me, the champion?"
So, I am pinned. I think I can still try to break free,
Yeah, I think you can.
right?
Rage, do it, dude.
Let me read pin. A pinned creature cannot move. Can always attempt to free itself, usually with a combat maneuver. Okay. So, yeah, Miyabe will try to free himself by, like, I imagine, like, this guy's, like, on top of him or whatnot. Miyabe will stand up using brute force, just, like, stand up, lifting this guy up off the ground with him. And I'm going to call a natural 5 on this dot.
Oh, jeez. Oh, 21.
21.
Yeah, that's gonna succeed. So, now you're free. Is that how it works? Like, if you escape a pin, you're just free? I think that's how we did it on Friday.
I think so. Let me look up.
Well, I think the reason
I
why
posted
I
the flowchart there.
released is because he
The
failed.
flowchart is more confusing than me just looking up the paragraphs.
That's true.
I have no idea where I'm looking on that flowchart, so I'm just
What were
going
you
to look
saying,
up.
Brandon?
I thought that the reason I got out was because he failed, like, the pin check. Like, it didn't go from pin to grapple. I think if you failed the pinning check, you just lose.
You just
automatic
lose.
or something.
You can get tied up, and then you have the helpless condition.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so, goodness, pin. You give your opponent the pin condition despite pinning your opponent.
It says,
Grab.
if you win, you escape the pin, but you're still grappling.
Right.
Yeah, so
Alrighty.
we're now both back to grappled.
Okay.
What happens if he fails to pin?
But that means that you're currently controlling the grapple. Jace?
I don't know.
I think Miyabe is. No.
I don't think so. I almost feel like, as I was explaining the other day, it's almost like a tug of war where that guy grappled, so he's got the bonus, tried to go to pin, then Miyabe broke free, but it goes back
Yeah.
to grapple, but it's like that guy's still technically grappling him. He just repositioned, I suppose.
Yeah, so I think he is still in control of the grapple.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Alright, so he will roll another CMB. That is a 12 that time.
So even if we gave him the +5 again, that would not succeed.
Okay. So does he loses the grapple now?
Yes.
Okay. So now we're back to square one.
Yep. I'm telling you, this is never going to end because I'm never going to roll consecutively high.
Let's see where it goes.
So it's my turn, and I will try to grapple him now. You know, just for the heck of it, I'll just like move over. Just for the heck of it, since Miyabe is fast, he's gonna try to use his speed. He's gonna try to like run around this guy real quick to like throw off his senses,
Okay.
and then he's gonna try to grapple him again. There we go, back to the 6 on the
Okay.
die.
So he'll say, "Stand still, young boy, so I can beat you."
Can I put a hex back on Miyabe? Just throw ward back on him between these rounds.
So that is a 20 to grapple you.
CMD is 21.
Oh, jeez. Okay. This is
My
good.
turn again.
Yep.
I got the 21 that time.
Hey!
So now you are grappling him, and now he is.
We are
grappled.
both grappled, but I'm controlling it this time.
Yes.
I
so.
see. Okay. All right.
So,
So
my
now-
CMD went down, but his CMD is probably fine because you don't take a penalty when you're trying to break out of the grapple.
Okay. So he will try to break out. That is a... So I don't get a bonus +5 anymore.
No, that's only if... Yeah, that'll only be if I maintain it here.
Oh, you have
Okay.
you have a choice to either break free or take control. It's one or the
Yes.
other.
Yeah,
So
you can... Yeah.
So if I try to take control, do I get a bonus?
Nope, but
No.
if you win, you'll gain the +5 CMB on the next round.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
If your opponent did not break free or change the grapple or whatever, then you get the bonus on consecutive attempts.
Right. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, because I without the +5, I failed.
Oh,
Okay.
beautiful.
So then we
So-
go back to me, and this time, since he did not break my grapple, I get the +5.
Correct.
On your nat 3, that
Yeah.
might
Ugh.
Pretty good.
Okay.
So this is just add 5 to whatever this is.
Okay.
Yep.
A 12.
A natural 2, as you'd expect.
Yeah. So that is not enough.
So
So
we both lose the grapple, and we're back to the beginning.
So both parties continue to have the grapple condition. The attacker still controls the grapple. So you still have
Yeah.
the grapple.
okay. So okay. Natural 4.
So you
So
Okay.
I don't do anything.
don't. Back
Well,
to
you're
me.
saying I still have the grapple even though I failed to maintain?
Because the condition didn't change. So you didn't fail to maintain, did you?
I mean, what was I rolling for if I wasn't trying to maintain?
That's true.
Yeah. So I think that we started at the beginning, and so now
Yeah.
we're just.
Oh my gosh, this will go on forever.
Yeah. No, I'll give it a couple more rounds, and then we'll.
Then he might say,
25.
"No, an honest combatant."
Okay. So 25 will do it. So
Yeah.
now you're grappling him.
Both grappled. So I'm
So
putting the grapple
he'll-
condition back on.
Yep. He will. Oh, I gotta put it back on mine. Okay.
What do you think they're having in the corner? I think it's the big guy that's gonna win. Oh, he's swooping around the back.
Okay. Natural 6 that time. So that's
Okay.
definitely not because I don't get any bonuses. There's no way. There's no way.
Correct.
Okay.
So again, here comes a natural 3
4.
with my plus 12. It's a natural 3. Okay.
Oh, okay. So
24 plus 5, so 29 to pin
Yeah.
him.
so that will pin him.
So you are pinned.
Okay.
I'm still grappling. So
Okay.
you can still roll to break free against my lowered CMD. So he has one more chance to roll a 19 on his CMD.
Cannot move, is denied its dexterity bonus, but is not flat-footed. Can take verbal and mental, cannot cast spells, can still escape, and other spell stuff that we don't care about.
Okay. I just want to see what he considers to be.
His lost state.
Yeah.
I like how
Okay,
he's
okay.
already put Miyabe in this situation, but then he considers himself potentially lost.
I just pinned you, but you pinned me, so I lose.
Yes.
So you have him pinned, and he's struggling, and finally he'll relax and he'll say, "Oh, you got me. My joints are aching, and I'm not as spry as I used to be. But you, my friend, are quite a formidable opponent. You put up a good show. What's the word? Concede. I almost said
Surrender.
secede.
I secede from the nation.
From the Union.
From the lizard folk.
From
I
the
am
lizard
human
folk.
now.
Population 1, he becomes his own country. He gets to sit at the meeting between Pride and
it's
Hearth and the
room for me.
lizard folks plus one neutral party, which is himself.
Nope. I still want to say. I concede. You bested. I can't get away from the pirate now.
You want to say submit and concede.
Yeah. I can't do this voice. It's killing
So,
my throat.
Yeah, Miyabe would say is like, I think it was just because of your age. I don't know if I really did all that well. If you were in your younger years, I'm sure it would have gone the other way.
I think you're right.
Go on. Yes,
It didn't sound like that to me.
turned into a pirate, and Miyane's gone Irish.
We're back in
Did
your
you guys
mouth.
hit your heads when you were wrestling?
Wait, is that an affected
I
accent?
believe I am the champion now.
No, he was just speaking polyglot.
No.
Oh yeah.
Irish dude.
Nothing screams polyglot like an Irish accent.
Absolutely.
Holy crap! What is
I think
going
it's because you
on?
didn't have the deepness that you normally try and portray in your voice, so
Yeah.
it came across very Irish.
I was just a bit winded.
So there's Miyabe.
Yeah.
That's not what the first one
I
sounded.
was a bit winded, so my voice was a bit higher pitched because I was breathing so heavily.
Abner always asked, "What does Miyabi's voice sound like?" 2 octaves higher. It is Irish.
It's Irish. He becomes Irish.
Yeah.
Abner steps up. Now you take on the party's strongest champ, Lizard Man. Cracks his nut. I'm kidding. Abner doesn't do any of that.
So, did Miyabe win?
He did. I concede. I submit. I thought I had him there, but he wouldn't give up. I guess we didn't go over the terms of the fight very well. That's my fault.
Luda, I'm not sure what he's saying. Can you translate, please?
It does not matter, Kremet. Miyabe won, of course he did.
Yes, I did not know if it was required that I give up, or if just being pinned was enough. I did not know, so I just kept going.
I hope you know that now you have to stay here, and you have to be the champion of the fighting pit. I give my belt to you and hand over the title. Good luck, my boy. I'll send some lizard folk your way.
I did not think this was part of the arrangement in that
Well,
case.
it's too late.
It's too late, and he's like leaving the door. Good luck, you'll do fine. He's off.
I knew he wanted to lose.
Yeah.
I'm free, the fool. He's magically bound to that room forever now.
The owner of the belt is bound to this room.
It's a cursed item.
Yeah.
He's like, in all seriousness, though, I overheard your conversation with the chief, and it sounds like you lot are looking out for us and our best interests, and if you truly are going down below to face Darathic, I think you might need this more than I do.
And he'll hand the belt to you. It is not a belt of mighty constitution plus 10.
Those don't exist.
Belt of mighty something.
You might find that this makes you feel a bit stronger.
I will take it.
Giant strength plus 2.
Yeah, it is a belt of giant strength plus 2.
Beautiful.
Oh, nice.
So, because now Miyabi is the champion, can Kermit challenge him for the belt?
Bang!
Based on his rolls, I could win.
Probably.
Right? Well, you didn't win that one time that you tried grappling, or that he grappled you couldn't seem to get out.
Enraged. You got bonuses.
Well, now I've got a bonus from the belt.
Hey, no, you gotta take that off.
Yeah, he wore the belt against me.
Yeah.
Just doesn't help when you roll single digits. Even my physical dice hate me.
Huh? Oh, you got ward.
Yeah, I do also have ward.
Yeah. Aluna wouldn't drop that. Beautiful. What was his
So I
name
guess-
again?
My name is Othok. I was the former chief of this tribe, but I let Shathva win in order to take the responsibilities, and now I live my retirement in this here fighting pit, challenging all the young lizard folk.
Yeah, he definitely didn't let her win. She totally beat him in a fair fight.
I know that just from his facial expressions, because obviously I don't know Polygon.
Yeah. Again, I assume Aluna is just translating most of
Yeah.
what's being said.
I don't know. She was getting kind of a little nippy with me when I asked her about if Miyabi won.
Nippy
It doesn't
something.
matter. Shut up, little one.
Yeah, he would say to him, he'd be, well, it seems that you command great respect here. I will do my best for the sake of your tribe.
I appreciate that, my young boy. You are quite the imposing figure, and I'm glad to have someone like you on our side rather than on the other side.
You mentioned Armstrong, and I'm just picturing when the two muscly guys meet each other. They're like, oh, yeah, it's huge. The physique of your
They're just
visage is
striking poses.
spectacular. Yes. What a chiseled
You give me
body.
a perform muscle pose.
I don't
Perform
have
muscle.
perform.
Everybody has perform, don't they?
I didn't pick up performance.
You didn't put
You should
ranks
put
into it.
performance. Yeah, just
It's based on charisma, so it's a -1.
yeah, you can still roll it. Yeah,
An 8. Nice.
probably look better with baby oil versus the mud. But
So we press on.
yeah, I guess we'll
Yeah.
wrestle the other captive.
Yep. So if you head north up to that room,
Well, looking into the bee room, the bug room, what's in there?
if you look in, at first all you see is a room that has another opening to it.
Is there anything in this room?
No, the chamber is divided by a partition that juts from the western wall, leaving a 10-foot entryway to the lower half of the room. Large mounds of dirt rise from overturned flagstones, and scattered piles of rotting animal fur and broken tools cover the remaining floor. 2 long-handled nets lean near the only doorway. It looks like this may be where they keep their trash. And if you kind of like sneak over and look into the bottom half of this room,
Well, what I'm gonna do
can-
is I'll send some dancing lights in, loop them
Okay.
around. Does anything like react or scuttle?
you hear some noises. You hear some like skittering noises coming from down below.
Yeah. So
And if you like peek around the corner, you can see like hundreds of like centipedes like writhing around in this trash pit.
How much experience do we get for the 1 centipede?
well, a quick. As she peers over, she'll cast detect magic and see if there's anything amazing in there.
Let's see. You do detect magic coming from in there.
And if she focuses in on the aura, can she determine what it is?
She can denote the number of auras and the school of magic if she makes a knowledge arcana check, I believe.
Okay, so you only detect 1 aura, and then you can make a knowledge arcana.
23.
Okay, so with a 23 arcana, you are gathering it is a conjuration aura.
If the aura emanates from a magic item, you can attempt to identify its properties with spellcraft. So I guess he can attempt that even from distance. It
Yeah.
doesn't say he has to be holding it.
Right.
Okay.
And she'll gesture for Abner. Hey, come here. Help me find what this is.
Okay.
And
Let's see if I can figure it out.
yeah,
Hellcraft.
she'll confer the magical property.
Wow, what is our deal tonight?
We are just
Seriously.
on it, bro.
Seriously.
like
It's just
the
it's just
same
Miabe.
Yeah, it's just Jason.
And it's funny because your spellcraft is way higher than mine.
Yeah. But we
So-
keep hitting the same number.
You both rolled a 20. Looking in, like, amongst this mass
Well, it's
of,
a
like, kind of
22.
writhing centipedes,
Don't like that.
you see a set of bracers.
Ooh.
And if you focus in on them, you can see that they are bracers of armor plus 2.
Oh, ho, ho.
Ooh.
Oh,
That would be good for one person in the party.
That's good for Abner. You got burning hands there slotted, my
Although
friend?
if he casts mage armor every day, then it's redundant. But still,
Yeah, but he didn't have to.
It's
until he's
pretty
at plus
good,
2.
yeah. We have some alchemist fires, don't we?
What do I have?
I have 6 alchemist fires.
I do have a burning hands. Do I think that a burning hands would clear them without hurting the armor?
oh yeah,
Yeah, because they're magic items.
Yeah.
Make a knowledge nature. Anyone
Yeah.
who can.
Got it. Rolled a 1. Oh boy.
Are they not going
Okay,
to
so-
attack us if we just sneak in there and just grab it?
So, Aluna and Miyabe, you can tell that this is effectively a centipede swarm. So, Burning Hands would definitely have an effect on them. You know, this particular swarm is diminutive, so your weapons are going to be useless against it.
Is it non-hostile, and we could just kind of go in there, and gross as it is, like get it and get out?
You think if you were to go in there, you're going to get attacked by these centipedes?
And the lizard folk don't have any attachment to them, right?
No, she said we could kill them.
No,
if
it's
we
just their
wanted to.
trash pile. Yeah.
See if the old guy wants to wrestle those.
Yes, wrestle this diminutive swarm.
We already got a new challenger in the next room. Come here, take a bait. Throw some gloves.
So- Yeah, Miyabe has 8 alchemist fire.
I have 6, and I can give some to Crimit if he wants.
I can switch to my scatter shot and just try to blast before you guys do.
I have a
Doesn't matter.
burning hands and a flaming sphere.
Can we get a ready to action off and just blast them all at once with the fire and the alchemists?
I will allow a surprise round
Beautiful. Crimit,
since it does not.
Crimit, come closer. Crimit.
Hold on, I need a full round action to switch out my mod, so I will spend 1 grit to change my range mod to scatter.
Okay, all right. So everybody roll for initiative if this is going down.
Get over here.
I feel like we can't leave those there. That's a pretty good item.
Yeah.
Man, a Luna.
Yeah, I've been rolling rocks today.
Oh,
Just
so
Okay.
sad. I
beautiful.
clicked the same time Abner did, and I thought mine was the 21, and then I got
That's what I was saying.
Aluna has Aluna got to use her new thing where she rolls twice and takes the better. So she rolled a 24, which was a natural 20, and then a 15. So we're
Why'd
going
you
to
even
20.
roll a second time?
Yeah.
What's that?
Why'd you even roll a second time when you got a nat 20? I mean, you weren't going to beat that, were you?
I just double clicked it, and I can take either still.
So he was
So
looking for a nat 20.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
right, so like let's say I wanted to go third because of like I don't have to worry about delaying. I set my initiative there, kind of thing.
Okay. So I will give each of you an action before this happens. You can see this on the map now, right?
Mhm.
The swarm?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So starting with Aluna.
No need to wait. Can I just blast my? Can I just aim for that intersection there and get an alchemist arrow?
Yep. Go ahead.
So it's just going to be a straight range, right? Ranged.
Range touch.
Yep.
Yeah, it's your base attack bonus plus your dex.
Which my dex is 0, my base is 3, so 20.
Okay, so a 20 will hit their touch AC.
1d6
Plus
plus
one?
50%.
Or is it just 1d6 for alchemist fire?
It's just 1d6.
Yep.
Minimum.
Hasn't come through for me yet.
Hasn't come
There
through.
we
There
go.
it is. Okay. So 2 points of damage.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm just rounding up. Next is Abner.
I'm gonna throw a burning hands at it.
That's a reflex save.
How
That is a
rude.
Save. Reflex for half.
What's this cone look like?
It looks
That's
like... Let me get the
An ice cream cone of fire.
draw line. Fire.
If so, it hit like this square and this square.
It would hit
Okay.
these squares.
But a
Yep.
5-foot step forward would get them all. Concealed.
Well, I mean, it's the same because it's all
Yeah,
one
right.
entity, basically.
Right.
Right.
Okay, so a reflex save. So it's their best save. So that is a 21.
Yeah, so half damage.
Half damage from the
half
bunny
damage.
hands.
But then
For-
another 50% of half damage.
Mhm.
So it's like 3/4 damage.
Like 75%.
So
Okay.
10.
10 points of damage. So that definitely dispersed some of them. For show. After Abner is Crimit.
I don't know. Do I have to get closer for? Oh. Well, I think I can do 20-foot cone from here, right? Or do I have to step up?
Yeah, I think you have to.
Either or.
Either or. It depends on how you draw it. It'd be fine.
It'd probably be better for you to step up because
Yeah.
but
Yeah, I'll do that. So I step up and I just take a shot.
Okay.
I will turn point blank on.
as millions of pellets fire out.
I do need to turn on scatter as well, so it'll give me a minus. But
It's laser shots.
pew.
Oh my. So a 28 against touch is definitely a hit, and it will do 5 points of scatter damage.
Yep, piercing and bludgeoning.
Okay. Next is Miyabe.
Miyabe will say, I don't know if I have to stand up to not have it get any, like, to step into this square or not.
I mean, technically, no.
Yeah, I mean,
Most technically, yeah.
Yeah.
Because you can aim from the corner.
Yeah, because you can draw without going through anything, so draw a line without going through anything.
so I'll make a ranged touch
Okay. Yep, that will do it.
for 1d6.
Okay.
So total
Three.
of 3 damage.
3 damage. Alright.
And then I think I'd be tempted to have Miyabe step forward, but then he would just get more of us caught. So
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're back. Well, that was just a surprise round still.
That was just the surprise round, so we're back up to a Luna.
We'll pull out another one and throw it.
Okay. That one's gonna miss, so roll your d8. You were aiming for the middle intersection here, or the middle of them?
Middle of them.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter.
yeah, they get a reflex save to take no damage.
How?
Natural 20 on the reflex.
Because I think the reflex is
Yeah.
to negate splash.
I think that's
right?
I don't know. I'll look it up real quick. I think that's
think
the
so.
case.
I think they're fine.
Okay. So after Aluna is Abner. Justin.
Second burning hand.
Right? Pearl of Power, second burning hand.
Next turn.
Flaming sphere. Just cast all
No.
our spells.
Fireball.
One swarm.
They don't get a
Fireball.
They don't get a reflex. That was just the bomb. The alchemist bombs get reflexes.
Okay,
They catch fire. Is the case.
so they take 1 damage.
They-
1 damage.
Correct. On a direct hit, it deals fire damage, and on the following round of a direct hit, the target takes an additional 1d6 points of damage. If desired, the target can use a full round action to extinguish the flames.
That's if it fails a reflex save.
Extinguishing the flames requires DC 15. No, just a direct hit, it catches fire. Here is the text.
So, can I ready a spell but not use it quite yet?
Sure. So you're gonna ready. What's your trigger?
If it moves forward.
Okay. Gotcha. Next up is Kermit.
I'm just gonna reload and shoot from there, I suppose.
Okay.
So reload pellets and pew pew.
Pew pew.
Hey Josh,
Whoa!
Ooh.
can you
nice.
set your sheet?
My sheet?
Yeah, there's just a comment that they couldn't see the map.
Oh, it's not open now, so it's just lagging a little bit.
Oh, it looks like it's frozen. Okay.
Beautiful.
29, natural 20. So it's not going to confirm, but it will hit, and it will do 5 points of damage. Whoa.
I was so upset that I meant to say disappointed and depressing and said disdepressing.
Disappressing.
I'm
I like
disappressed
that,
with
though.
that roll.
I like that. Disappressed. Abner Calhoun.
Does it still look like there's a lot of them? Can you tell?
It's whittled away a lot of them. Yeah, there's not
Um,
that many left.
Oh gosh darn it. Come on, 5
Crit
footsteps in.
confirm is sad.
I'll hold them off! With my body.
After Kermit is Miyabe.
He'll throw another one in there.
Okay.
Now Crimit might get hit by splash damage.
Kermit can. He's got an ability to negate splash. He has evasion.
So were you targeting them, or were you targeting
Yep.
a square? Okay, so that's gonna miss.
So if I roll a 2 on this D8, it would be the intersection that he is standing next to. Yep. There we go.
Do I get a save or I just take the splash?
You take this.
Yeah, you just take this. Both of them take one point of fire damage.
1 point of fire damage. Okay.
I was protecting you from them, Miyabe. Owie.
So it is going to 5-foot step into Kermit Square, but Abner, your readied action would go off because they moved forward.
And it does
Yes.
technically was hit with a direct hit, so it takes 1d6 fire damage, technically. But I don't know if that works for swarms because it's a
So-
swarm.
As it steps towards Kermit, Abner gives it the finger gun and spontaneous immolation.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
That's a lot. That's so much.
Can you do that to a swarm?
I'm looking it up.
Says you point your finger at a creature,
Well,
Target is
yeah,
one creature.
So no.
so no.
So
Yeah,
no.
anything that targets a single creature cannot affect a swarm.
Oh, I didn't
he
know
uses it on just one of them.
He targets Kermit.
You knocked the crap out of that one.
that one.
You hear it shrieking.
That is the idea.
Are you sure
Yeah,
you
if
use
Swarm
the
is
second
immune
hand
to-
you slotted?
Swarm is immune to any spell or effect that targets a specific number of creatures. So.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay then. So,
Nothing
Flaming
happened.
Sphere would work.
yep, so that doesn't go off. So Kermit, it moves into your square.
Preemptive fortitude.
Where's guessing? If I had to take a guess at it, that's
Oops.
what I'm shooting for.
So you take 3 points of damage. So that saves against the poison. I need you to roll another one.
Another fort?
Distraction.
Yeah.
Hey! Swarms have distraction!
Another fort or will?
Another fort, sorry. Yeah, another fort. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you're okay.
That's cool. Alright, if I say, I think the DC was 15 on that if I would take a guess, so.
It's not 15, but it's lower. Top of the round.
Well, I
we
would
have
hope
a
that if I passed,
Luna.
it wasn't higher. I would just be
Yeah.
also confused.
That would be weird. Okay, Luna.
We'll try not to hit Kermit.
Okay.
Just delay.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll wait for him to get out of the way.
Please delay. I don't want to get hit more.
Yeah.
So you'll delay until Kermit can get out of there. Next is Kermit because Miyabe had delayed or readied.
Well,
5
no,
foot-
Miyabe was always at the bottom.
No, I think you're before the swarm.
Abner, sorry, Abner.
Abner.
Abner had readied,
Yes.
and so he moved. So next is Kermit.
Reload.
Okay, so Kermit moves, but then Aluna.
I delayed, so I have a whole
Oh,
turn.
you delayed. You didn't ready. Okay. Jeez, I get so confused. All right, so you move back and reload. And shoot, and that's a miss.
Not just a miss.
That was an 11. That was a misfire? Ooh.
Well, because it's a nat 2. Yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And then I will
Gotta
go
love
ahead and roll my ranged here.
Okay.
18, so hits exactly in the middle where I'm hoping. Hopefully.
Okay.
Does that hit its touch?
It does.
Okay, and then another d6.
4. And with that, it disperses.
Yay! Only took 2 of mine.
Kermit. Coughs a little. You see him shake his cloak, and probably a couple of them fall out. And steps forward and picks up the bracers. Walks to you.
I got these for you. I would also maybe look a little, like, just to make sure I'm all healed up. Luna.
She rolls her eyes, and we'll go ahead and cast the last bit of the wand of Cure Light Wounds.
Was that the last one? We don't have any more healed?
Correct, that is the last.
Wow.
Just kidding, I
love-
have 2 wands.
love
Got
that.
you.
I love that she heals Miyabe without him asking, but if anyone else asks, she rolls her eyes.
Rolls her eyes.
It's like the nerve to ask me for healing.
You're begging.
The nerve that we've shared the gold and bought these for her to use.
You peasant.
Dare
How
I?
dare you?
I stepped in just to take the damage that nobody else did. How dare
I think this would be funny. She wouldn't do this, of course, but it is the last use of that wand, so it'd be so funny if she like used it up and then just chucked it at him and like hit him in the face and it bounced up.
Takes 1 point.
Here you
Takes
go.
1 point of damage.
There's your healing. You happy now?
No, that
Entirely
did not
different
give me it a full.
Highly different person, he says. So that's great. So yeah, they are, Abner. There's some bracers for you.
Bracers of armor +2?
That was
Is
a fun
right?
distraction. And if we look down here, what do we see?
Nice.
They walk away. Abner, I don't think Aluda really cares for us.
Yeah, I believe you are correct. We are less than important to her, I believe.
Okay. Miyabe, as you
Non-human haters.
Right.
as you head up there to the left where the room is that Shathva told you about, you see that there's a metal cage that fills the southern end of this stone-walled room. A patch of damp hay rests within the cage, along with a bucket and a clay tray that's covered with the remnants of foodstuffs. You can see that it doesn't look like this room was intended to be a prison. It's kind of makeshift. But inside you do see a man who is sitting slumped up against the wall. Looking at him, you see that he is currently restrained from something that looks like it was also makeshift. It looks like somebody took like manacles and a breastplate and tried to tie him together so that he can't move. Oh boy. So this is the room that you see. You also see that there are 2 lizard folk that are sitting on buckets, and as soon as you
Step back there.
as soon as you enter, they kind of stand up hastily and lower their weapons, and the one says, "Who are you? What are you doing here?"
We are.
I'm sorry.
We are here to. What are you saying?
I just laughing because I figured these 2 guys don't even know we're here. Mud wrestling in one room, guns going off, explosions in the other room. We walk up and they're like, "Hey, what are you guys doing? Like, are you serious right now?"
Like this whole
You
time,
played for the past 15 minutes.
they heard the gunshots and were like, "Do we? That's not our job, right?"
Dude,
Like,
the guy's like, I'm not going out there.
he's like, "No, that's not
Well,
us."
Okay,
Is that us?
To be fair,
No, that's not us.
Let's just think about it. They're right across the hall from a lab where this person's working on like potions and things.
Okay.
There could have been explosions that happen. I mean, it's not entirely outside the realm of possibility. But yeah, so they're gonna lower their weapons real quick and look at you warily.
We are here to speak with your prisoner. We just spoke with your chief. We were on our way up here. You might have heard. We got sidetracked a little bit. And he points to the bell. He's like, I was resting the one in the other room. You might have heard it.
So he will kind of be like, "Yeah, I heard Othak doing something weird in that room, but he's kind of a weird guy, so I didn't think anything of it." At the same time, one of the other guards will come up from behind, noticing that you guys are having this conversation. Will come in and he'll explain to the other 2 that you do have the permission of the chief to speak with the prisoner. And so with that, they will unlock the cage, and you can see inside is this guy, Magdi Kukoyi. And that is where we will end it for tonight. We will pick up next week. Well, potentially. We may have a scheduling conflict next week, but
We don't
next
need
time.
Josh.
Huh?
We don't need Josh.
We don't need
Yeah.
Josh.
Did he really
only-
do anything this session?
No,
He only begrudgingly
Not-
heals.
not gonna lie.
I could roll a D1 for healing with a wand too.
great session, but holy cow, did I feel like a passive observer for most of this?
You did do a lot of the translation. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
That's the first thing that can actually understand the languages. we were more of a passive observer.
Technically, Miyabe could have translated too.
Technically, he could have as well. But anyhow, thank you all. A good night to you. Everybody who tuned into the stream today. Sorry for any issues that you encountered. Thank you all, however, for being here. I hope you had a good time. And look forward to us the next time we are live. That is it.